Welcome to another Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union broadcast of Lumberjack Football on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's. Join Tim Parrish as he brings you the play-by-play of tonight's Lumberjack football game. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now we'll send it out to the field where Tim Parrish is waiting with the pregame show. And as always, go Lumberjack! And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field on a wet, soggy evening here in St. Mary's as your Lumberjacks get set to wrap up the regular season here at home tonight against the visiting Orofino Maniacs 2-League Central Idaho League play. And it is also senior night for the Lumberjack seniors, so we've got the seniors to go through for you. I think I counted 12 seniors, 10 or 12 seniors on this varsity roster for Lumberjack football. And once again, like I said, kind of a wet, drizzly evening tonight. Current temperature is 37 degrees. Feels like it's about 32 degrees with a south-southwest wind of 7 miles per hour. There is a 60% chance of rain here this evening. So it is going to possibly be a wet one this evening. I mean, the field is already wet, so even if it doesn't rain more, the ball is still going to get wet and things will still be soggy and cold for the players out there on the field. In any case, I want to give you this quick notification. We're going to try to remember to get this out to you guys a couple of times tonight to remind you. The Benoit Humane Society is having a taco fiesta night tomorrow. It's going to be a dinner, an auction, and a raffle fundraiser for Hope's Haven at the Elks Lodge. That is tomorrow evening at 5 p.m., and they would like to thank you for your donations and your support. We're going to take a quick break. Then we'll come back with the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff here on 1240 KOFE.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the simple, free checking account from T1FCU. It gives you the flexibility to earn dividends, plus get anytime account access with online and mobile banking, mobile deposits, and no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So, thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
With Stage 1 and 2 of the sports complex nearly complete, the Lumberjack Booster Club thanks Archie's IGA, Shift and Grind, and the St. Mary's community for their fundraising effort and continued support in making this sports complex come to life. The next stage will be the sprinkler system. The Booster Club is looking for new members. If you have kids in high school or soon entering high school, now is the time to get involved with the Booster Club. For more information on how you can help with the sports complex or questions about becoming a member, contact Donnie Masterson at 208-582-1802 or by email at golumberjacks@gmail.com. And as always, go Lumberjack!
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active? Definitely. Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Idaho, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown team. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Any adventure, any task, any time, there's a Yamaha utility ATV for any ride and any rider. See the full lineup at St. Mary's Don Cycle. Adventure seekers can start with the trail-tested capability and comfort of the Yamaha Grizzly lineup. For the ultimate in mid-size ATV performance, check out the Yamaha Kodiak 450. And for those who mix work and pleasure, the Yamaha Kodiak 700 line devours chores and leaves room for adventure. Find your utility ATV at St. Mary's Don Cycle or YamahaMotorsports.com. And we are back, Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field as we have our Potlatch number 1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kick off here on senior night for your Lumberjacks as they host the Orofino Maniacs in league action. Final game of the regular season for both teams. Taking a look at the Central Idaho League as it stands right now for District 1 and 2 records and standings. You've got Kellogg sitting at 3-0 on the season. They are 3-0 in league play. They are 5-3 overall. They beat Grangeville 50-12 last week. They are at Priest River this Friday tonight, and they are number 8 in the Max Preps rankings. For the Lumberjacks, they have moved their way all the way up to that number 2 spot in league play. They are 2-1 in league, 2-5 overall. Beat Priest River last week 49-0. And like I said, they're hosting the Orofino Maniacs here tonight, number 14 in the Max Preps rankings. Grangeville, they are 2-2 on the season in league play. 3-5 overall. They lost to Kellogg 50-12 last week. Their season is complete, and they are, I would imagine, starting to prepare for basketball season. The Priest River Spartans, 1-2 in league play, 2-5 overall. And like I said, they will be hosting Kellogg tonight. They lost to St. Mary's last week 49-0. The Orofino Maniacs, their season not going the way they would hoped for it to have this year. 0-3 overall, or 0-3 I should say in league play, 0-6 overall. They lost 33-18 last week to Priest River, and they are here in St. Mary's. They actually, not last week, that was the week before. Last week they actually played some 8-man football against Timberline. We'll have more on that a little bit later. Take a look at the polls and the power rankings. In the Idaho Sports Power Rankings, the top 5 are this: Westside, Bear Lake, Aberdeen, Firth, and Kellogg. In the coaches poll, it is North Fremont, Bear Lake, Westside, Melba, and Kellogg. In the media polls, it is Westside, Bear Lake, Aberdeen, North Fremont, and Kellogg. And into the polls that actually mean or matter for anything to do with the postseason, Max Preps rankings, Westside number 1, Bear Lake number 2, the Firth number 3, Aberdeen number 4, and North Fremont is number 5 in the Max Preps rankings. Those rankings impact where you are seated in the state playoffs, which we'll tell you more about the playoffs a little bit later. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff here on 1240 KOFE in just a moment.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to safety, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to safety.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goals. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary's. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our ADs for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Idaho for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Tim Parrish back here at Lumberjack Field here on a wet, cold senior night for your Lumberjacks as they host the Maniacs from Orofino in 2A Central Idaho League action. Taking a look out towards the kind of the southwest, I guess you could say, as I'm looking out our window, seeing a little bit of snow up on those mountains. So you got a lot of rain down here in the St. Mary's Valley, in the St. Mary's area, but up a little bit higher, a little bit of snow falling just like it predicted. So it's going to start to get wet and cold over the next couple of weeks, it does appear. So hopefully everybody's just about prepared for that change in temperature. And it's going to be a cold one tonight. Currently 37 degrees, feels like 32 with the breeze that's blowing from the south-southwest at the moment. Actually, that almost looks like it's coming out of the east now, so it might have changed just a bit. Taking a look at the Lumberjack statistics throughout the season so far, Lumberjacks have been kind of just on an upward swing, I guess you could say. They've been had some games where they were okay and competitive at, and they've had some games that they got pretty well handled in. They started the season off against Riverside here in St. Mary's. That game was a close one, and it came down to a couple of turnovers that St. Mary's had. Then St. Mary's got beat up pretty good by Freeman over in Rockford, or over at Freeman High School. And that was, again, a game, though, that had some mistakes and stuff by St. Mary's on special teams. St. Mary's then traveled to Kellogg, where they really competed in that first half against the Wildcats. Second half, though, they turned the ball over several times, and that really hurt them in that game as well. So with all being said, all of those games like that have hurt St. Mary's in the power rankings just because they look like blowouts, except for that Riverside game. St. Mary's did get beat pretty good up in Bonners Ferry, but they competed most of the way through that game as well. And then, let me see, Timberlake, again, just another game that was tough for St. Mary's. They started off strong and just kind of faltered a little bit later on. Up in Grangeville, though, St. Mary's came out strong, and they were able to grind out that win pretty nicely against a pretty tough Bulldog team. And then last week against Priest River here in St. Mary's, 49-0, Lumberjacks came away with that win. So then now tonight, they're wrapping up the season here against the Maniacs. Lumberjacks have averaged 18 points per game on the season, 248 yards per game offensively. St. Mary's not a passing team this year. They average just 33 yards through the air in each game. And rushing yards, they average 215 yards on the ground per game. St. Mary's definitely a running team this year. 9 yards per completion. So when they do throw the ball, they get some decent completions out of it, but they just don't throw it a lot. 5 yards per carry in the ground game. So again, good numbers there running the ball. That's, every 2 plays, it's a first down for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's has 23 big plays on the season. That is plays that are of 20 yards or more. Turnovers has been the place that St. Mary's has really actually had the most trouble this year. 9 fumbles on the season that were lost. They had a couple of other ones that they were able to recover, but 9 fumbles over 8 games is pretty tough. And that's actually not over 8 games because today is only the 8th game. So that's over 7 games. So that's one of the big areas that they really struggled with this year was ball security on the run game. They've thrown 2 interceptions on the year. Third down conversions, 28 of 79 for 35%. Another number Coach Teff probably would like to see a bit higher. Fourth down conversions, pretty good number on the fourth downs, 15 of 29 for 52% for those numbers. Offensive leaders for the Lumberjacks, we don't really mention the quarterback, Dylan Holder, just because it's not really a passing team for the Lumberjacks, and he doesn't have a whole lot of stats to really talk about, but I've never really mentioned the passing stats too much. But on the ground game, Trey Gibson, he's a junior, leads the team with 113 carries for 645 yards, 5 touchdowns. He averages 6 yards per carry, 92 yards per game. Dylan Holder, a senior, he's the quarterback. He has 55 carries. He averages 303 yards. Not averages. He has 303 yards on the season with 4 touchdowns, 6 yards per rush, 43 yards per game for him. Damian Banderob, a senior, he has 51 carries for 296 yards and 2 touchdowns, 6 yards per rush for him and 42 yards per game. Ethan Kohler, a senior, 44 carries with 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 yards per rush for him. In that passing game on our receiving side, Tristan Hill, he is a senior, leads the team in receptions with 5 receptions for 53, or not with receptions, but for yardage. 5 receptions, 53 yards. He averages 11 yards per reception and 8 yards per game. Trace Wicks, a senior, 3 catches for 48 yards. Tyler Renner is a senior, 3 receptions for 39 yards. Jared Badgett, 6 receptions. He is a senior for 32 yards. So that's a look at the Lumberjacks offensively. We'll take another break here from our sponsors, and we'll be back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades, and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture at St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and Lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, "Go Lumberjack!"
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
It's time to winterize your home, and there's no better place to start than at Everyone's Hardware and Lumber Store, 10th Street Lumber. They have insulation, house wraps, stoves, and heaters. See their huge selection of power tools, paints, and painting supplies. And, of course, they have a full line of lumber supplies. Stop by 10th Street Lumber and see what they can do for you. And remember, 10th Street Lumber will deliver anywhere on 10th Street and Railroad Avenue, 10th Street Lumber.
Wondering. Yeah, we are back. Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field Senior Night for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks as they get set to take on the the Orofino Maniacs on Friday Night Lights. Lumberjacks have just come out onto the field with their big Jacks flag, carrying their axe and ready for getting things going. And they just planted the Lumberjack flag in the end zone down on the east side of the field. The Maniacs out here warming up as well, getting ready to get things going tonight for them also. And let's take a look at the defense. St. Mary's, they've had a few games where they allowed quite a few points. And they earlier in the season were allowing about 33 points per game, 34, 35 points per game, while only scoring about 12. The Lumberjack defense in the last couple of games has been able to make that average come down to where it's only at 27 points per game allowed. So not a bad number there. St. Mary's is allowing 226 yards per game defensively. 111 of those are on the passing game and 115 on the ground. Third down conversions, St. Mary's is keeping their opponents at 23% on third down conversions, 15 of 65, and 42% on fourth down conversions, 10 of 24. St. Mary's has recovered 5 fumbles and 4 interceptions on the season. St. Mary's sits -2, though, in the turnover differential. So most of those turnovers coming in the last couple of games, but they've been able to chew away at that. As at one point this season, they were like -6 or 7 in that turnover differential. And earlier we mentioned that turnovers being one of the biggest killers of the Lumberjacks' drives this season. The opponents have had 33 big plays on the year, and the Lumberjacks have sacked the opposing quarterback 14 times. So Lumberjacks defense has been pretty strong and have been pretty good at getting after the opposing quarterbacks. Defensive leaders for the Lumberjacks, you've got senior Jared Badgett. He has 28.5 tackles on the year with 1 interception. Trey Gibson, the junior, 27 tackles for him. Trace Wicks has 22 tackles. It is his senior year, and he has 3 sacks on the year as well. Damian Vanderrob, a senior, 21.5 tackles with a half a sack. Ethan Kohler, a senior, has 19 tackles with 2.5 sacks. Tristan Hill, a senior, has 3.5 sacks and had somewhere around 14 tackles for the season. So that's some of your defensive leaders for the Lumberjacks. In the interception category, J.J. Year, out of freshman, he has 2 interceptions on the year, and those came last week against the Priest River Spartans. Brock Anderson, a junior, he has one interception that he got that interception last week as well against the Spartans. In the extra point or kicking game, Grayson Sands, a senior, he is 13 of 14 for extra points. Might be 13 of 15. Last week he had one that was blocked, but he was able to scoop it up and take it into the end zone for a touchdown. So I don't know if that still counts as a blocked extra. That was actually a field goal attempt. That wasn't a extra point. So that actually would be an 0 for 1 on field goal attempts for him. But Grayson Sands came over about mid-season as well. He's the goalie for the Lumberjack soccer team, which their season finished up. But he's been kicking for the Lumberjacks now for a few games, and he is a senior as well. He'll be honored tonight for senior night here also, which they're getting those festivities underway at the moment. We'll take another break, a word from our sponsors, and come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff here on 1240 KOFE.
How to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Heidi Kruger, your St. Mary's Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Heidi Kruger is a proud sponsor of the Lumberjacks on KOFE. For all your investment needs, call 208-755-5294 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
St. Joe Potty Hut in St. Mary's is a proud Lumberjack supporter. St. Joe Potty Hut is a portable restroom rental RV pump service in Benoit County, also serving Shoshone and Kootenai County. So for your next large gathering, wedding, family reunion, birthday party, or maybe you're having a remodel done and you need some extra facilities, call St. Joe Potty Hut at 245-4887. 245-4887. St. Joe Potty Hut says, go Lumberjacks! When your car's not running right, you want an honest mechanic that provides quality work at an affordable price. That can be tough, unless your dad owns a repair shop. But in St. Mary's, times have changed. You have Jim's Auto, and they treat every customer like family. Get everything from regular maintenance to major repairs done at Jim's Auto and Tire Pros. Jim's Auto doesn't just offer oil changes. They're a full-service shop. Jim's Auto can diagnose that check engine light, change your brakes, and fix your alignment. Ask about Jim's Auto's new Express Lane with same-day or next-day oil and tire services. And don't forget, Jim's Auto is an authorized Tire Pros dealer with nationwide warranty, service protection plan, and free roadside assistance. Jim's Auto and Tire Pros located at 69 Milwaukee Road, St. Mary's. Tim Parrish back here at Lumberjack Field as your Lumberjacks get set to take on the Orofino Maniacs. It is senior night tonight. Lumberjack seniors right now being honored on the field. We will pick some time throughout the broadcast tonight to go over the seniors as well, so that everybody that's listening back at home or in their cars or wherever they might be can get to know these seniors as well. So we will have that going on also. First, though, the Lumberjacks, they got their 2 wins of the year last. They got their second win of the year last week against the Priest River Spartans in league action. They cemented their spot in the postseason with that win as well. Even if the Lumberjacks, the Spartans, and the Bulldogs ended up tied tonight in league play, the Lumberjacks win the head-to-head matchups between the Spartans and Grangeville, so St. Mary's would still be into the postseason. So that is good for the Lumberjacks. We'll talk about postseason here in just a little bit. It was a good showing for St. Mary's, although some will say, though, that the Priest River Spartans are not that strong of a team. The Lumberjacks did play well in that game against the Spartans. The Lumberjacks, though, will go into the postseason play as the last seed this year, meaning that they probably won't get any home playoff games as they go through the playoffs if they can get a couple of wins going. They might also have their toughest matchup in the first round, which, again, we'll look at the playoff picture here in a little bit. Tonight, though, the Lumberjacks, they'll be taking on another league opponent in the Orofino Maniacs, in a game that some would probably say doesn't matter much for either team, except for maybe just pride as far as everything's going. The Maniacs are already out of playoff contention, so the only thing they want to do is come here and try to snatch a win against the Lumberjacks and just spoil the Lumberjacks senior night. I also don't believe that, like I said, I don't think a win here would change, or a loss in this game would change anything Max Preps rankings wise. Maybe not. I mean, we can't get any worse than the last seed in the playoffs. So the only thing we could do is go up with a win, but I don't think that we will gain any space either by winning against the Maniacs. So there's just not, sad to say, it's just not a lot on the line for tonight's game for either team, but they've still both got to come out here and play hard and get the job done. The Maniacs wanted to finish the season on a strong point, trying to get that win. And Lumberjacks just want to keep that momentum rolling as they could get a 3-game win streak going. It'd make them feel good and get that confidence flowing as they head into the postseason play. And that's about it for this segment. We'll take another break, a word from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and talk about the Orofino Maniacs just a little bit.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the simple, free checking account from P1FCU. It gives you the flexibility to earn dividends, plus get anytime account access with online and mobile banking, mobile deposits, and no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938, insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? You need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
And we are back. The Paulette's #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kick off here on 1240 KOFE. I am Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Field. Before we get back into that pregame, we want to once again mention the Benoit Humane Society's Taco Fiesta night. It's a dinner, auction, and a raffle fundraiser for Hope's Haven That'll be taking place at the Elks Lodge tomorrow, October the 22nd at 5 p.m. So if you're not doing anything Friday night, or Saturday night, I should say, head over to the Elks Lodge and support the Hope's Haven Benoit Humane Society with their Taco Fiesta night. So now we'll take a quick look at the visiting Orofino Maniacs. Of course, they are in the 2A Central Idaho League. They are part of District 2. As you know, St. Mary's, Orofino, Grangeville, Kellogg, Priest River make up District 1 and 2. So it's a combined league, so to speak, with District 1 and 2. So St. Mary's, Priest River, Kellogg are District 1. Grangeville and Orofino are District 2. So they are 0-3 on the season, 0-6 in league play this year, and they had a 1-6 season last year. They have a new head coach this year, Jake Matchie, and is his first year. The key returners they have this year, Luke McAdow, he's an offensive lineman and a senior, and Corey Godwin, he is a running back and a senior. Maniacs have not had the season that they'd hoped for this year for sure. They have not made the postseason since 2017. Back in 2017, they lost to Firth 34-12 at Holt Arena in the quarterfinals. They won their first round matchup against New Plymouth that year. The Maniacs have been shut out in 4 of their 7 games this year. There was a game that they played last week that didn't show up in the records, and it was Timberline. They played the Spartans. It's an 8-man game, 8-man football. They actually played an 8-man game earlier in the season as well. That's, I guess, what they could find to fill their schedule. But last week they played that 8-man game against Timberline. They lost that game 54-26. The Maniac offense has struggled this year to get into the end zone. They only average 8 points per game. On film, they don't look to be a bad team. They've got some pretty good-looking athletes and stuff. They just haven't been able to put things together. And again, it is a new coach, so you kind of get a new system and new stuff going on, and you've got to kind of learn and that rebuilding process, I guess you could say, as you get to moving things on going forward. So don't expect the Orofino Maniacs to have a season like this again in the near future. I expect them, to get better as the years go on and come back stronger next year. On film, they look to be, like I said, a balanced team. They do try to run the ball and throw the ball. They would love to finish this season with a win here in St. Mary's, but the Lumberjack defense has been getting better all season, and the offense has been getting better as well. So I think the Maniacs are going to have their hands full tonight with the Lumberjacks. We'll take another quick break, and then we'll be back.
With stage 1 and 2 of the sports complex nearly complete, the Lumberjack Booster Club thanks Archie's IGA, Shift and Grind, and the St. Mary's community for their fundraising effort and continued support in making this sports complex come to life. The next stage will be the sprinkler system. The Booster Club is looking for new members. If you have kids in high school or soon entering high school, now is the time to get involved with the Booster Club. For more information on how you can help with the sports complex or questions about becoming a member, contact Donnie Masterson at 208-582-1802 or by email at golumberjacks@gmail.com. And as always, go Lumberjacks!
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active? Definitely. Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Idaho, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we're back here at Lumberjack Field as the Lumberjacks getting set to take on the Maniacs in league action. Senior night here for St. Mary's. And, well, the Lumberjacks, they need to finish the season strong. They should not look past the Maniacs, even though a loss wouldn't mean much as far as postseason is concerned. You don't want to stop the momentum they've been gaining as far as the consecutive wins that they've been able to put together the last couple of weeks since that win in Grangeville. The Maniacs, they may not look like a tough opponent, but looks can be deceiving. And if you don't take an opponent seriously, that's usually when you stumble and can get beat. So St. Mary's, I'm sure Coach Teff just made these kids realize that don't look past the team, don't overlook them, because anything can happen when you actually get to play in the game down on the field. St. Mary's, though, they do need to take care of the ball. I would still love to see one game where they do not put the ball on the ground. They've had to fumble just about every single game this year. And as we've talked about through this whole pregame and through all season, turnovers have really been what has hurt this team this year, and especially the fumbles. Like I said, they only had 2 interceptions on the season, but 9 fumbles lost is 1 per game. And that's just, I'm sure in Coach Teff's opinion, that's too many fumbles to have in a year. So that's one of the biggest things that I'd still like to see, because I think they had 2 or 3 fumbles in the game against Priest River. I think they only lost maybe 1 of them, but still, just you put the ball on the ground too many times and it just can kill your momentum. So biggest thing is to protect that ball tonight for St. Mary's. Going into postseason play, you just want to start getting better at holding onto the rock as you're going through and trying to shed tacklers and stuff. And that's the biggest key to this game for them. I haven't watched a whole lot with Orofino. I mean, St. Mary's is going to have to stop the pass and be careful with that. But Orofino, they do pass the ball, but I don't know how strong of a passing game they actually have. And St. Mary's does struggle a little bit on defense in the passing coverages, but that's been getting better as the season's gone on as well. I think I've seen some personnel changes on the defensive backs and stuff. I think Dylan Holder didn't play a lot defensive early in the season, but these last, probably since Grangeville, I've noticed he's been out there as either a linebacker or maybe in coverage. So I think that has helped. Tyler Renner's been back out there playing. He's listed as a defensive end, but I think I've seen him out playing cornerback as well, and doing a pretty good job out there in that position. So if they can keep improving on that, that'll definitely help them going forward into the tournament time, which will be next week. Taking a look at some of the other sports for Lumberjacks and college and pro level, the Lumberjack soccer seasons, they are finished. Actually, today I just found out that the Coeur d'Alene Charter girls, who has been a dominant force in 3A soccer world here up north, they got beat by their league opponent at state. They got beat by Timberlake 4-3 in overtime. So that's probably one of the first wins in several years for any of the Central Idaho League team, or the actually Intermountain League teams in 3A soccer, to get a win over Coeur d'Alene Charter. So that was probably just about like winning the championship in itself for Timberlake, beating the Charter Panthers. So congratulations to Timberlake on getting that win over them. The volleyball team, they finished up their regular season this week. They finished undefeated and as league and district champions as well. And it is on the state tournament for the Lumberjack girls. Lumberjack Volleyball State will be held at Idaho Falls on the 28th and 29th. That is next week. Lumberjack football, as we know, they're hosting Orofino tonight. Next week, they'll have postseason action going on. Congratulations to the JV Lumberjack football team as they finished 4-4 on the year. They finished off with 4 straight wins at the end of the season. And then they beat Sandpoint Wednesday night by a score of 46-16. On to college, we've got the Vandals playing tomorrow. They're hosting Portland State. That kickoff is at noon, and I usually try to get to one of the Vandals' home games every year, and tomorrow might be that one. So we may not have that game on the air because that's the last chance I think I get to make it to a Vandals home game is that game. So I might be taking the day off and going to the Vandals football game in person. Seahawks, they'll be at the Chargers on Sunday. That's a 1:25 kickoff. And Boise State will be at Air Force on Saturday. So if we do decide to go to the Vandals game, if we can get back to the studio in time, we could get that Boise State at Air Force game on the air. That game starts at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And I've gotten through most of our commercials, so I'm going to go ahead. Well, we'll take one quick break, and then we'll take a look at the playoff picture as we see it at the moment.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown team. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Any adventure, any task, any time, there's a Yamaha utility ATV for any ride and any rider. See the full lineup at St. Mary's Don Cycle. Adventure seekers can start with the trail-tested capability and comfort of the Yamaha Grizzly lineup. For the ultimate in mid-size ATV performance, check out the Yamaha Kodiak 450. And for those who mix work and pleasure, the Yamaha Kodiak 700 line devours chores and leaves room for adventure. Find your utility ATV at St. Mary's Don Cycle or YamahaMotorsports.com.
And we are back. Tim Parrish now joined by Clark Grogan as he has made the long trip from St. Mary's.
I'm telling you.
So we're going to take a look now at our playoff picture as we know it for right now. So the projected playoff field looks like this. The teams, I think it's 11 teams. Kellogg, St. Mary's, Melba, Cole Valley, Declo, Bear Lake, Westside, North Fremont, and Firth are the solid playoff teams that are in. The projected at-large teams is Aberdeen and Soda Springs, and then a couple teams that are on the bubble that could knock off maybe one of those at-large. Those other at-large teams would be Nampa Christian, Wendell, and West Jefferson. First round buys go to Bear Lake, Firth, Melba, Declo, and Kellogg. Now, I don't know how I feel about this, but that's 5 teams. Only 4 of those teams gets a home playoff game, and those teams are all district champions or league champions. So they're all first in their district and their league: Bear Lake, Firth, Melba, Declo, Kellogg. Kellogg, they get their first round bye, but from what I understand, being the lowest seeded or the lowest ranked Max Preps team, they will have to travel next week or the following week after that bye week to go play in the first round of the playoffs, and they'll be playing against another district champion team. So that's kind of a tough draw for them, being the number one.
I sometimes think the North gets really rooked by this.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff.
In my opinion, I think they should just add one more layer to the bracket, 2 more teams, or however that would work. Put Kellogg down there on the bottom with a bye and then a home game, and you have to add maybe 1 more team or 2 more teams to the bracket. But it makes it fair for that team to get district that all get to the host.
You were talking about some of these teams that are on the bubble or just right outside at the moment. Nampa Christian always has great athletic programs. Has an athletic program that's very good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if they came into the playoff, they would represent well.
Yeah. So the projected first round matchups as of right now, this is what the teams could be playing next week in the first round of the playoffs to be the number 9 ranked Cole Valley at the number 8 of North Fremont. Then you have the number 10 of Soda Springs at the number 7 of Aberdeen. And then the number 11 St. Mary's at number 6 Westside. Westside, that name is very deceiving. I was talking to some guys and said, well, it's Westside, so it should be somewhere on the west side of the state, correct? No.
The west side of the city, that's on the east side of the state.
West side is down below Pocatello, and it's about a 9.5-hour drive, probably 10 to 11 hours on a school bus. The 2A football committee, a couple different things I've heard. So on the North Idaho Prepcast, I heard a couple of weeks back, they were talking about the fact that this 2A football committee has the ability to modify the brackets first round based on extensive travel or a matchup of teams from the same district. And they did this supposedly, according to that Prepcast, because Grangeville last year had to travel to Westside. Grangeville has a 3-hour difference on us, so they're 3 hours closer.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's going to change anything or not. We'll see. I guess on Sunday, Coach Teff said they get to go kind of plead their case. If St. Mary's was to beat Westside, if that's who they had to play, they'd have to travel back east and north and south next week as well, or the following week. So it's just kind of a rough thing to do. We've got the national anthem now.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to safety, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to safety.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler drops in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, if you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Yeah, we are back. Perfect timing as the national anthem wrapped up there. And so, I mean, back to that playoff picture a little bit. We just got to wait and see. We won't know, I guess, fully for sure what's going to happen until probably Monday.
Well, just getting ourselves ready for Christmas, right?
Exactly.
Like every time.
So now let's go ahead and take a look at starting lineups and start with, we'll go with the Maniac defense, I guess. I just never know who to start with. For the Maniacs, starting on defense, we have the number 2, Drew Hanna at defensive back. He's a junior. The number 5, Nolan Williams, he is a defensive back and a junior for the Maniacs. Number 7, senior Darian Cannon, a defensive back. Number 10, Edward Harrison, he is a sophomore linebacker. Number 12, Corey Goodwin, he is a senior defensive end. Then you got number 24, John Wicks, a linebacker and a sophomore. Moving on down, Alex Powers, number 32, a senior linebacker for the Maniacs. Number 44, Cameron McCorkle, he is a freshman strong safety. Then number 52, Luke McAdow, he's a senior linebacker. Defensive line, number 60, Evan Simpson, a sophomore. Number 61, John Defoe. He is a defensive lineman, and that is the starters for the Maniacs. Starting offense for the Lumberjacks should look like this. At quarterback, the senior, Dylan Holder, number 5. At running back, it is a junior, 5'10". Number 8, Wesley Vanderhoff. He's started in that wedge formation. Number 22, Tyler Renner, 6'5", 205-pound senior. He's a wide receiver. Number 23, junior running back Trey Gibson. On the offensive line, number 50, Landon Warren. Number 65, Riley Abel. Number 68, Carson Thorhog. And number 69, Jordan Korn. And number 70, Jackson Nantel. And then doing more running back duties in this last couple of weeks of formations for the Lumberjacks, Damian Vanderhoff, number 84, tight end, and doing a little bit of running back action for St. Mary's. And then also tight end, number 99, Tristan Hill, a senior, doing running back duties for St. Mary's. Or not, he's a tight end and a blocker on offense for the Lumberjacks. Okay. In any case, so the Lumberjacks captains are out there on the field with the Maniacs, and there's 6 or 7 Maniacs out on the field. Maybe there's like co-captains, I guess, huh, Clark?
It looks like that's how it might be.
So they'll go out for the opening or the flip of the coin here. The Maniacs in their white and blue on the road, Lumberjacks in their green and gold.
I am seeing that these guys are all seniors, it looks like, that are out there on the back part. So just giving them a chance to be out there for their final game doing that.
Well, I was talking to a little bit online with the radio guys from Orofino, and they had a little bit of, I don't know what exactly happened, but they said he was trying to give me some of their starters, and there were some changes going on because they had some injuries, and I guess they had some kids quit here late at the end of the season. Which is always a hard thing to see for a program.
That's very disappointing, yes.
So they looked at, that's probably why they didn't have their JV game against St. Mary's this year. I mean, their squad down there looks pretty small for a varsity level team. So it looks like the Maniacs will kick, the Lumberjacks will receive. So we did our starting lineups properly. The Lumberjacks will go from left to right on the radio dial. The Maniacs will be defending the west end zone. And I did some research and stuff, and I think some of the kickers and stuff has changed for Orofino. So we'll have to wait and see who comes out to do their kicking duties, because I think, like I said, they've had some stuff go on with their players and stuff in the program. So got to wait and see who comes out to kick off. In my previous research, it was either the number 25 of Seeger Pettengill or Alex Powers, number 32, that was doing the kickoff for the Maniacs. So we'll see which one of those comes out to kick off, because I'm pretty sure both of them are actually still on the roster. Trying to look and see who's there. We go. But the ball, it is the number 32. That should be Alex Powers, a senior for the Maniacs. So they'll line up, get ready to kick this thing off and see.
I thought we were going to get a whole season with a real nice weather, not having to worry about the coast and bubbling up. And here it is tonight, and you look across the field up in those hills. Looks like there's a skip.
There's a little bit of snow up there in the mountains. Heard the Flat Creek area got some snow as well.
I'm not surprised, no. It's not that early.
Back deep for the Lumberjacks, it will be Trey Gibson and Jared Badgett to return the kick. Badgett has a return for a touchdown on the season. That was against the Timberlake Tigers. We thought that game was going to started off really strong for St. Mary's. They returned the opening kick, and then their first offensive play, they ran it for a touchdown. But after that, it kind of shut down for the Lumberjacks in that game against Timberlake.
What was that?
That was an interesting attempt at the kick there, as it was Alex Powers was backed up to the ball and was.
That's going to be some sort of.
He tried to kick the ball backwards, so
illegal procedure.
It must be some weird attempt. Did he hit the ball?
Yes, he did.
I think he hit the ball, and they're calling the kickoff dead at the 40.
Well, how about that?
So they're trying to get a little tricky or something they may have worked on in practice as far as making the ball take a weird hop or something. And he just brushed the ball and knocked it off the tee, and the Lumberjacks will have the ball 1st and 10 on the Maniac 40-yard line. So not the way the Maniacs wanted to start. Not the way Maniac special teams wanted to start. St. Mary's comes out in their wedge formation. Everybody in tight, holder under center. Going to pitch it out. It's a throw by Wicks, and wide open is Badgett. And Badgett is going to take it to the end zone. First play from scrimmage, and the Lumberjacks find Tater. Jared Badgett, that is his first first receiving touchdown of the season, first receiving touchdown of the year, period, for the Lumberjacks.
And who threw that? Because they gave it back to one of the running backs. I think they actually gave it to Holder, and he was not actually lined up under
No,
center.
they flipped it back to Wicks.
They did. Okay, good. All right. I thought that's what I saw, but.
So we got Dylan Holder holding. We've got the kicker is the kicker is Grayson Sands, high snap, and it's going to be no good.
Oh, where is his streak?
But he is now, I think it's, well, what was my stats on that? 13 of 14, now 13 of 15 on extra points.
Last week he was 7 in a row, so
That's true. He did make all of them. And that's why he missed that field goal last week, Clark, but that was blocked, but he ran it in for a touchdown. So I don't even know if that goes down as a blocked field goal because it ended up being a touchdown.
Well, he wanted to score a touchdown for the season. He got that goal also. How about that to put off on your senior bucket list?
So Lumberjacks come out quickly, strike first, 40-yard pass from Wicks to Badgett. 6-0 Lumberjacks lead after the block, the low kick on that high snap on the extra point. Grayson Sands will kick off for the Lumberjacks. And let's see here, where is he? There we go. And back deep, we've got, I think one of the return men is number 5, Nolan Williams. That's an interesting helicopter kick. It's going to be almost filled in at the 12. And the Lumberjacks should have got that, but it got out of bounds, Clark.
Did he go out?
Yeah, one of the Lumberjacks tried to jump on it. It squirted away from him, hit him maybe oddly in the arms, and went out of bounds.
Well, there goes my 60-year-old eyes going at it there.
So the Maniacs will have the ball first and 10 on their own 47-yard line. We call that no return.
Nice bounce of about 5 yards forward for him.
Oh, yeah, one of the Maniac upmen, I think it was Corey Goodwin, tried to grab it, and it bounced off of him, and St. Mary's had a prime chance to try to get that. Under center is Drew Hanna for the Maniacs.
And he fumbled it.
No, it was a run play. I think it was just one of the blockers diving down trying to chop block or cut block Maniac.
It just looked like it bounced on the ground and came back up to him or something.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Drew Hanna, I think, had it and lost a couple of yards.
Loss of a couple at 2nd and 12.
The tackle I heard from our field announcer says that it was Damian Vanderob on the tackle for the Lumberjacks. So puts them 2nd and 12 for Orfino. They have one receiver to the near side. Looks like they've got 2 receivers to the top. Hanna is in shotgun. He's got a running back flanking him. Can't see the number on him. He's going to drop back to throw. It's going to be out into the short flat. It's caught. Wesley Vanderob, though, meets him at the line, or at the new line of scrimmage after their loss of yards. Looks like he might have got a yard on it. And I think I said that was number 7, Darian Cannon.
Great pursuit by the Lumberjack defense. They sniffed that out pretty well.
Gain of about a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
So the tackling in this one so far starts off with the Vanderob brothers. You've got Damian getting the first tackle, Wesley getting the second. Wesley's a junior, so we'll see him again next year. Damian is a senior. 3rd down and about 11. They've got 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Hanna takes the snap. Oh, that's not Hanna. That's a snap to Cannon.
Yeah, that was one of those
direct
gadget plays.
And off to Cannon.
And I think he might have got to the original line of scrimmage, but that is about it.
Hill on the tackle is going to be bringing up 4th down.
Tristan Hill, Dylan Holder on the tackle.
They have not made any changes. It looks like they're going to go for this, unless their punter's out there as well.
4th and about 10 for the Maniacs.
Okay, he's dropped back to punt. Looks like number 12, isn't it? Maybe 22.
Number 12. Okay, who's the other? Yeah, I don't know. The punter I had on here was number 11, but he is not on their roster. He's not with them tonight. So it's a different guy. It's 32. It's Powers. Gets it away. It's going to take a bounce in favor of the Maniacs all the way down to about the 6. Badgett picks it up.
Badgett on a return for the Jacks.
And Badgett's going to return it up to, what, about the 25, it looks like, or so?
Just outside the 20 somewhere, yeah.
Well, maybe about the 20-yard line exactly. 14-yard return there for Badgett.
1st and 10 Lumberjacks, just over the 20-yard line.
Lumberjacks' second possession. Lumberjacks lead 6-0 over the Maniacs here, senior night. And Lumberjacks break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Everybody in tight. I call it their wedge formation. Holders under center. I think some people said it's a kind of an offshoot of the wishbone. It's going to be a handoff. And wait to see who was carrying it for the Lumberjacks. That was Gibson. Tackle, I believe, was made by the.
For the Jacks.
I'm not sure who made the tackle.
Looks like about 5-yard gain.
3 and 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5 now for the Lumberjacks.
Gibson, 645 yards on the season so far. It's not a bad year running the ball for the junior.
Mm-hmm.
Got 5 touchdowns as well. 2nd and 5 for the Lumberjacks, still in that tight formation. Holder under center. Gonna take the snap. Hands off the opposite side this time, and that was Vanderrob with the carry. Picks up a couple. One of the guys off of the pile was Darian Cannon.
Vanderrob carries for the Jacks. Tackled by Cannon.
Vanderrob started the season listed as a.
Now for the Jacks after a 4-yard gain.
That was a bigger gain than I thought it was. Vanderrob started the season. He's listed as a tight end, but he's basically been turned into a running back. 3rd and 1 for St. Mary's. Holder under center. Still everybody in tight. Going to be the quarterback keep this time. Pushing the pile. Holder's trying to squeeze out. He's not going to be able to break away. He does get all the way up to about the 45, though. I tell you, I listened to the Wildcats broadcast of their game for Wildcat Live.
And that's another Lumberjack.
When we played them up there, and their play-by-play guy just totally did not like that style of football from the Lumberjacks. But it was effective.
It works.
1st and 10 for St. Mary's on the 44-yard line. Same formation, but they do have one wide receiver here to the near side. They're going to look to throw. It's Wicks out here, and it's going to be caught by Wicks. He's brought down by number 5 of Williams, and he's just across the 45. He's at about right at the 40-yard line where they're going to mark him. That was a nice catch, nice pass. Number 5 to number 6. Picks up 17 yards, and a first down for the Lumberjacks. Holder 2 for 2, or no, actually Lumberjacks 2 for 2 passing, 2 different quarterbacks. Back into their wedge formation, no receivers out wide. Holder under center. He's got Wesley Vanderrob lined up behind him. Going to pitch it to Logan Darnold. Darnold gets to the edge, picks up a couple of yards before being taken down. Not a big gain. See Scott Soten out there doing some blocking for Lumberjacks.
Another tackle for Frito. Gain of 1.
Only a gain of 1 for Logan Darnold.
From the Orfino 39.
Be curious to see if St. Mary's doesn't mix in their younger guys earlier in the game. Wedge formation again for St. Mary's. Holder under center. Ball at the 40, just across the 40 on the Maniac side. A handoff the near side to, that's Gibson. I think
they're plugging those holes right now so far as Orfino on that.
Yeah,
so.
I think Gibson actually lost a yard. No, it looks like they're going to mark them at the original line.
Orfino.
So
that sunset over to the right there, quite interesting. Up there, right up there, the little light.
So no gain on that one for St. Mary's. It is now 3rd down and 9 on the Maniac 39-yard line.
Our referees are a little chilly tonight too, I'm noticing, as they're kind of keeping the hands in pockets and jumping a little bit.
Once again,
staying warm.
Once again, wedge formation. Holder fakes the handoff, looks to throw. He's got guys open. It's intended for Tyler Renner, and Renner was covered well.
Fingertips just a little bit.
Tristan Hill was wide open.
That'll bring up 4th and 9.
But it was still almost catchable by Renner. He was, just like you said, off to the fingertips. Tyler Renner, or not Tyler, but Tristan Hill was about 6 yards closer to this near sideline, and he had nobody on him. Holder didn't get a chance to check him and see him running free out there. Lumberjacks going for it, 4th and 9. Gonna fake the handoff again. Maybe the same play, looking for it again downfield.
There, but they're not.
And there's a flag out there.
There it is.
There's a flag on the play.
The coverage was definitely better that time. I think it was Tyler Renner that it was intended for again.
Pass interference is a call against the Maniac.
And they call PI on
Orfino coach is just not happy about that call, even though it was quite obvious.
So that would be 1st down for St. Mary's.
First and 10 Lumberjacks on Orfino 25 after the penalty.
Ball down on the 24-yard line. Pitch out here to the near side. That is, again, waiting to see. Couldn't quite see the number yet. 32 of Ethan Kohler.
Kohler's the ball carrier for the Jacks.
Picks up a couple.
McAdow on the tackle. Gain of 4.
Picks up about 4 yards. And now is Luke McAdow on the tackle for the Maniacs. So 2nd and 6 for St. Mary's as they kept their drive alive with the penalty from the Maniacs. Wedge formation again. Holder under center. Takes the snap, hands it off to Banderob. And Banderob had a big opening there, but the defender that was being blocked by his brother Wesley was able to get 3 of them.
Just less than a yard.
5. It's 3rd and 1 now for St. Mary's.
If Wesley gets that block a little bit better on that kick out, he was probably off to the house.
Yes, he was.
Already just 4 minutes left to go. First quarter, St. Mary's leads at 6-0 over the Maniacs.
Well, Orfino's defense is really trying to block the holes. I'm really impressed with that.
We get an offside call.
Yep.
Offsides on Orfino.
Well, that'll get us a 1st down.
5-yard penalty, and that will make it another Lumberjack.
1st and 10 now for St. Mary's. Ball down on the 10-yard line, it looks like.
Just outside. That'll be 11. Oh, they're giving it 1st and goal, yeah.
So 1st and goal from the 9 is what the scoreboard shows. Same formation for the Lumberjacks. No handoff. It's going to be a throw again. And it's over the middle, caught by Gibson.
Just short of the goal line.
About the 1-yard line. And this is kind of what I actually like to see here from St. Mary's. They're working that pass game just a little bit more because postseason play, they're probably going to need to be able to pass the ball a little bit more.
Well, they might, but I'm telling you, when you get into the colder weather, the running game is your bread and butter, especially if you get some North Idaho snow or something like that.
Now we have a flag on the play, and that's going to be offside again.
So that'll move it about 2 feet closer.
Offsides Orfino is a call. It's going to be half the distance to the goal.
Not very often do I see the free play in high school like you do in college and stuff on offside. I mean, lining up in the neutral zone isn't unabated to the quarterback, so you'd think they just let the play go.
Well, high school's a little different, though, with the rules.
Yeah. So Lumberjacks are 1st and goal on probably the half-yard line. Wedge formation, Holder pitches it back. And it's in the hands of
he lost some yards on that one.
Gibson.
Williams on the tackle for Orfino.
Orfino is really trying to
That's about a 2-yard
hold their own
loss
on the defense.
This defense by the
Got
Maniacs.
a 2-yard loss, they say, by the Maniac or for the Lumberjacks, and that was Williams on the tackle. Williams is one that I watched in film that if he gets the ball, he is a speedy, shifty little guy. He's a junior, and he's not very big, but he could move. This time the Lumberjacks just going to push it up the middle with Holder. And
he's still short. 4th down.
Boy, I thought they had gotten just enough to get into the end zone, but nope.
Well, we're sitting back here on the 50. It's a little tougher.
4th and 1 now for the Jacks for the touchdown.
Orfino making St. Mary's really work for this touchdown. And this time, who ran that one in?
I have no idea with that wedge.
That was Vanderrob. So the Lumberjacks score. I had to fix a thing here. So the Lumberjacks punch it in.
The extra point for the Jacks.
Grayson Sands will attempt the extra point, missed the first one on a bad snap. Holder with the hold, and that one is up and good.
Kick is up and good.
Minute 30 to go, first quarter of play, and the Lumberjacks lead 13-0 over the Orfino Maniacs. And let's go ahead and mention one of our seniors here, Mr. Grogan. So the first senior on the senior night program is the number 2 of Jared Badgett. Jared's parents are Sam and Diana Badgett. He has 11 years of playing football. He plans to attend a trade school or work or just go to work after high school. His activities in school include football, basketball, and ASB. His most memorable moment is helping Trey put his pads on before every single game because he can't figure it out. He would like to thank his mom and dad, Sammy, Naomi, his grandma, the Mueller family, the McGrill family, the seniors, Trey, the rest of his friends, the Watkins family, his coaches, and anyone else that his little brain could have forgotten. And that is...
He's helping Trey Gibson learn how to put on pads.
pads.
Trey's got another year left, so he'll get it down next year.
Trey's going to have to find somebody else to put them pads on next year.
Either that, or he's going to learn it and then pass it on to someone else, right?
That was our senior, Jared Badgett. Grayson Sands getting set to kick the ball off. Actually, yeah, Grayson is the one kicking it off. And we've got number 5 of Nolan Williams, the number 8. And I don't have an 8 on my roster. And it is, of course, Nolan Williams, the shifty guy I was talking about a minute ago, that gets that. And he's going to make a few guys miss. He picks it up at about the 15.
Not to the 24.
Works on a tackle for St. Mary's.
And Grogan here says up to the 24-yard line.
25 according
We'll give him a 10-yard return. And they said Trace Wicks made the tackle for the Lumberjacks. Minute 22 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's leads 13-0 over the visiting Maniacs. One receiver to the near side for Orfino, one to the top of the formation. Hanna is under center. He's got a running back lined up behind him. And it's going to be a handoff. A couple of yard pickup there, probably about 4. Ethan Kohler on the tackle.
Being a 5 on the play, it's second down now for the Maniacs.
And that must be what the radio guy from Orfino was over telling us about, is some number changes, because Tucker Malloy is not playing. And I think that was who had that ball. It was number 86. So I'm going to mark him down. I'm still going to leave it as Tucker Malloy because I don't know who it is. But gain of 6. This is going to be a pass, and it's going to be almost caught. Almost intercepted and falls harmlessly to the ground, and that was Trace Wicks on the coverage.
Pass is intended for Godwin, incomplete.
Corey Godwin, the intended receiver. Trace Wicks there in coverage.
Third down and a long 5 for Orfino.
So 3rd and 5 for the Maniacs. They've got one receiver here to the near side. That's the quarterback lining up as a wide receiver right now, Drew Hanna. Little trickery here in their formation. A couple of receivers at the top of the formation. Taking the snap is number 7. That's Cannon.
That is a backward pass.
And I believe you are correct.
Backward pass.
The backward pass recovered by Tyler Renner.
Renner recovers it.
So that's a lateral? Is that correct?
That's what it is. It's a lateral.
It was a backwards pass, so when it was loose, it was like a fumble.
Lumberjacks have the ball on the 24.
First and 10 Lumberjacks at the Rufino 23.
23-yard line. Would it be considered a fumble?
It's considered a fumble, yes, because of the lateral.
I don't know who. I think it was the quarterback that was supposed to receive that. I bet you they had a throw on there where Lumberjack, where they were going to throw it again. Next run is for Lumberjacks Vanderhob up the middle, and he gets a nice gain.
Vanderhob on the carry for the Jacks.
That may be the last play of the quarter. Clock's working tonight.
Yeah.
Must like the colder temperatures. Who knows?
Backing now on the tackle. It's going to be 2nd and 3 for the Jacks.
Yep, they're going to go.
Yeah, I have to bet that was probably going to be some sort of like a double pass type of situation.
At the end of the first quarter,
where they were going to pitch, throw it out to the quarterback, and the quarterback was going to throw it down the field. And that didn't happen because they didn't execute it properly. End of the first quarter, 13-0 Lumberjacks lead. St. Mary's with the ball, and we'll be back.
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary's. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
And we are back as the first quarter is over. St. Mary's leads at 13-0 over the Maniacs. Orofino not been able to get much out of their offense just yet. As they their first possession, they moved it just a little bit but didn't get a first down. And then this last possession, they had the turnover on that lateral fumble that Lumberjacks recovered. And now St. Mary's has the ball second and about 3 from the Maniac 16-yard line. And now that Clark has gotten his order into the waiter, I can bring his mic back online for us. Got Case and Sexton hanging out with us here in the booth tonight. And
he's become our gopher.
Yeah, put him to good use if he's going to enjoy the heater we've got up there.
That's right. There's a price.
He's not. He's a smart kid. He's where the heat is. Everybody in tight for the Lumberjacks. Wedge formation. Holder going to pitch it out to Gibson. Gibson tries to get the edge, turns the corner. Looks like he's going to be close to the first down.
Gibson carries for the Jacks.
And we do. The ref just indicated first down.
And that's another Lumberjack.
See where they mark that ball at. It's kind of hard to tell from here. Looks like it's going to be right at the 10.
Right inside.
So about a 6-yard pickup for Gibson on the second down.
We're going to go first and goal.
Yeah, it is. First and goal from, we'll call it the 10-yard line.
Then they'll have to give it the 9-yard line or something to that effect.
When the first down marker would be at the goal line, you can't really get a first down without punching it in. One receiver to the near side, Holder under center. Holder takes the snap. He's going to throw, looking for Wicks. And good coverage by the number 7 of Cannon, and it's incomplete.
It's cold. You know it's cold. They're out of hot chocolate.
That didn't take long.
No, I'm now doing a French vanilla, Tim. This is going to be really special, I'm sure.
Nice coverage there by Darian Cannon on that pass attempt. Lumberjacks have thrown it more in this first part of the early part of this game than they have in all their games this year, except for maybe the first game of the season, second game of the season, when they were trying to work that pass game more. Same formation, one receiver to the near side. It is Wicks. Holder's under center. Everybody else in tight. It's going to be a pitch out to, I believe it's Ethan Kohler, and I think he might have lost yards on that
maybe
carry.
Back to the line of scrimmage according to what I'm seeing.
And I will correct myself. It's Logan Darnold with the carry.
None other than Darren Cannon, who's having a great night defensively.
And Darian Cannon on the tackle for the Maniacs. No gain, you say. And, yeah, it looks like you're correct.
Well, you know, a broken watch is always right twice a day, so I've got one of mine in today.
Third down.
Third and goal to go for the Lumberjacks, still at the 10-yard line. So now they go back into their wedge. Everybody in tight. Tried 2 pass plays and then a run play that didn't go. I know it was 1 run play. Now it's a reverse. They handed it off to Gibson, then he handed it back off to, gotta wait for him to get up off the ground. That's Vanderrob.
Vanderrob on the carry for St. Mary's.
And he picks up a couple of yards, but it's going to be fourth.
About 4 or 5.
Yeah, actually a pretty decent pickup there.
Running on the tackle for
I think they've got the ball at the 4-yard, no, at the 5-yard line. So about a 5-yard pickup. So it's fourth and goal from the 5. How much? He's going to do the field goal. Going to give Grayson Sands the try at a field goal. The snap, the hold, the kick is up from the near hash mark, and that was just wide.
No good, just wide right, just a little bit.
Finally get to see Grayson try a field goal, though.
Well, Grayson is showing he's human tonight.
So
that block was on his fault.
Takes over on down.
So the Maniacs will take over on downs after the missed field goal. The ball will go out to the 20-yard line. And that's where the Maniacs will start their third possession of the game. 1st and 10 on their own 20. They come out with 2 receivers down to the near side, 2 receivers top of the formation. Drew Hanna in the shotgun, has the number 86 lined up next to him. And again, that's going to be a keeper by Hanna. He's going to find some room to run. Biggest play so far for the Maniacs. Jared Badgett there, finally able to ride him down, but they take that ball all the way up to about the 47, 48-yard line. Nice run by Drew Hanna.
We had stacked up the defense on the wrong side on that one. Hanna found the hole.
First down of the game for the Maniacs. And that was a big run. I didn't look to see how many yards it was, but it was from the 20 all the way up to the 40, so about 28-yard run. 2 receivers, kind of the same formation, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Hanna shotgun. Running back off to the near side. Now he's going to keep it again, but the Lumberjacks aren't fooled by it this time. Trey Gibson gets in there, and I'll credit Gibson with the tackle.
Gibson, the first man.
Loss of a couple of yards on that one.
See, and then Wesley Vanderrob was right in on that play as well.
A loss of 1, making it's going to be 2nd and 11.
A loss of about 1 yard. Makes it 2nd and 11 for the Maniacs. Again, 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Hanna shotgun. Number 86, flanking him to the near side is a running back. He's got some pressure. Screen plays on. Lumberjacks read it well, though. And again, Trey Gibson comes in there to make the tackle. Ethan Kohler was there as well, but I still think it was mostly Gibson on that tackle.
It's another 2-yard loss.
I think.
He's tackled immediately by Gibson.
So it was Pettengill with the tackle or with the catch. Lumberjacks read that screenplay fairly well. They did that, I think, when I was rewatching Kellogg or one of the other games they played in too. I think it was Grangeville. You could see St. Mary's started to bite up, and then they said, "Oh wait, this is the screen." And the guys all back up. They've been able to read that pretty well. This was direct snap to Cannon.
Who got the first down out of that too.
And it's a big gain, but it was also a flag on the play.
I don't think they got set.
Close to first down yardage.
But I think it's coming back because the Maniacs are already marching back.
There's a call against Arpino. That's going to wipe out that big gain by Hanna.
So it's a holding call on the Maniacs. That overrides the play. Yeah, holy moly, they're backing them.
Well, it was at where it was occurring. That's what they do in high
I didn't think it occurred that far back. That is
about 30 yards to go to get this one.
Ball is all the way back on the 30-yard line.
26 yards to go for a first down.
Orfino calls a timeout.
Maniacs want a timeout. It's their first time out of the game with 7:34 to go in the half. And the Lumberjacks lead at 13-0. Cold evening here for senior night.
Well, it's the last game of the season. It's nearing the end of October. This is where it comes.
One of the seniors for the Lumberjacks. Next senior that was honored tonight is Damian Vanderrob. His guardians are parents Dusty and Lisa Vanderrob. He has 9 years of playing football. After high school, he plans to go to trade school and then off to work. His activities in school include football and baseball. His most memorable moment is in the locker room after beating Grangeville. He'd like to thank his mom and dad, his coaches, Wesley, Tyler, Jared, Carson, Tristan, Dylan, Trace, Grayson, Jordan, Landon, Ethan, his brothers and sisters, and all of his aunts and uncles. And that is the senior Damian Vanderrob. He was here last year and this year, so 2 years here with the Lumberjacks. And a good addition to the team.
And that's a nice highlight, too, because, we don't beat Grangeville too often. It's been 5 years, I think, right, Tim?
Something like that. We've beat them twice in the last 14 years, so that kind of tells you. Two receivers to the near side for Orofino, one to the top of the formation. Hanna takes the snap, and he's going to keep it himself, and that's working pretty good for him. He's not going to get a ton of yardage, but he got about 10.
You need 26 yards. You're not going to get that on that defense, I don't think.
Ritter on a tackle for St. Mary's.
Well, that ball is not positioned in the right spot on there, but that's okay.
It's on their 41-yard line.
I didn't see who made the tackle for the Lumberjacks, but
so it's 4th and 17.
4th and about 18 for Orofino.
I think he just wants to contradict me all night.
So 4th and long. They're going to punt. High punt. Bounce at the 30. Fielded at the 25 by Badgett. Badgett down the sideline. Gets it across the 40 before being brought down.
For the Lumberjacks. Godwin on the tackle for Orofino.
And that's where the Lumberjacks will take over.
That's pretty convenient. They didn't have to move the yardsticks much.
1st and 10 Lumberjacks from their own 43.
Got an 18-yard return for Badgett. Well, it was kind of funny, the JV game, we were joking about it on the sideline because the last couple of varsity games, we've had some issues with the clock. And it was, I think Gilkey was running the clock for that JV game, and it worked flawlessly.
Well, there you go. It's been working well so far.
Pitch out to Gibson. Gibson takes it to the far side, finding some room to run.
Yeah, he waited for his line to give him a little bit of an opening, too. That was great run on his part.
Sheds off a couple of tackles and gets 5 yards on the carry.
They're in Cannon again on the tackle for Orofino.
Darian Cannon, they're saying once again, he's been called in a lot of tackles here this evening.
So they gave him 6 yards on that.
4 now for the Jacks.
Went into the locker room last week after that game, and I had my stats tablet with me, and Gibson and Vanderrob. Gibson's always wanted me to send the stats after the games to him. So him and Vanderrob both wanted to see my stats after that one. Everybody in tight once again. Holder under center. Takes the snap. Pitches it out to Vanderrob. Running to the near side. Vanderrob finds some room, and he's off to the races. One man to beat down the sideline. 5. Touchdown, Vanderrob. And I see no flags on the field.
50-yard touchdown run.
That's his second longest of the season. Vanderrob against Timberlake had a 57-yard, I think, touchdown run. That one was 50 or 52 yards. And the Lumberjacks strike pay dirt once again. 19-0 Lumberjacks leading over the Maniacs. Midway through the second period. Grayson stands to line up for the extra point. Dylan Holder holding for the Lumberjacks. Nice snap. This one's up, and it looks good, and it is.
Extra point by Sands is good.
So the Lumberjacks lead 20-0 over the Maniacs with 5:42 left to go before halftime, and we'll go ahead and take a quick break.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
for helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our ADs for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Idaho for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around?
And we are back. It's a little squig tip to the near side. Was that 10 yards? St. Mary's is able to recover. 40. Oh, yeah.
He's short.
Are you sure?
Well, he threw the flag.
I'm not sure what the flag was. It may not be for that because he caught that, I thought, beyond the 50. The kick was at the 40, and they placed the ball to 53, or the 50, not the 53, the 48 of Grangeville, or of Orofino. What did I do here? Cancel. Kickoff.
It is a St. Mary's penalty. At least it's looking that way.
You say it is against St. Mary's the penalty?
Now they're talking to the Orofino coach about options. At least it looks that way.
I mean, it could be a block in the back or something, or an illegal.
No. Oh, they didn't give the guy a chance to catch the ball.
I didn't think you had to on a kickoff. That's a live ball. Oh, okay. So the maniac player with a smart head on his shoulders down there called for the fair catch. And I seen that somewhere else get talked about on a college game. I think it was. So heads up play by the Orofino player.
Interfering with the fair catch. Now it's going to be pushing 10 Orofino from the Lumberjack 38.
Let's see if that's on here in my free kick. I don't really have that as a option in my penalties. The next one's a run by the maniac, though.
He was looking for a pass.
Was he?
He really was. Anderson actually was heading the ball, and then he's looking downfield. So you have to give the sack on that. Looks to me. Now I may be wrong.
Well, who made the sack?
Loss of 4 is 2nd and 14 now. Orofino.
Oh, St. Mary's does not have the ball, Tim. Okay, there we go. Going to be a handoff or no, keeper again. Trying to get my stats program here straightened out. And
now we get back to the original line of scrimmage.
That was the number 7 of Cannon again.
Actually, it was a
no game. Drop on a tackle for the Jacks.
So I'm going to call that last one as a sack. We didn't know who made the play, so I'll fix that later.
And maybe we'll find out later they don't credit it as a sack. Who knows? But nonetheless,
Damian Vanderrob makes the tackle on the next one, which is a tackle for loss. And the Maniacs are already 3rd and 14. So Drew Hanna in the shotgun has 2 receivers near side, one to the top of the formation, running back flank to the near side. Takes the snap, looks to throw, is going to hand it off, double reverse. It's in the hands of number 12, Godwin, but Godwin is met in the backfield by Tyler Renner and Ethan Kohler.
On the reverse. Kohler makes the tackle.
Another
also in on that tackle.
couple of, about a 3-yard loss on that one.
It's going to be 4th down and 18 for the Maniacs.
So I said that was Tyler Renner and Ethan Kohler, correct, on the tackle?
Yep.
So 4th and long for the Maniacs. They are on the Lumberjack side of the field, though, so they are going to go for it at this point. 2 to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation for the Maniacs at the wide receivers. Hanna in the shotgun, running back flank to the near side, just off of the quarterback's hip. Going to look deep, and it's underthrown, and it's a battle to try to see who can get that ball first. Godwin, I think, was maybe looking for a flag. He doesn't get the call, and
well, that ball looked like it was more thrown to a Lumberjack than it was to Orofino.
So a turnover on downs, and Lumberjacks will take over. 3:22 to go in the half. Lumberjacks lead it 20-0 over the Maniacs. St. Mary's has the ball on their own 45-yard line. Going to snap the ball. It's a little jump pass intended for Banderov and just off the mark.
Holder's pass intended for Banderov.
Holder didn't have a lot of time. There was a guy that was about to bring him down.
He had to get that ball out quickly.
There for Orofino.
Again, I want to give a lot of credit to Orofino's defense. They're really working hard tonight.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for St. Mary's, back on their own 45-yard line. Everybody in tight now. Wedge formation, Holder under center for the Jacks. Going to take the snap, hands it off to Banderov. Banderov cuts inside his blocking, picks up about 5, maybe just 4. 4 or 5 yards.
For Orofino, it's going to be 2nd and 5.
And it is 5. 3rd and 5 for the Lumberjacks, right at just a little bit on the Lumberjack side of the field. Again, everybody in tight for St. Mary's. 3rd and 5. Holder under center. Holder calling signals, takes a snap, pitches it out to Gibson. Oh, man, the defense for the Maniacs blew that up in the backfield.
They did. They found those holes and took care of business on that one.
Give credit. Tackle for Orofino, loss of 5.
5-yard loss back to the original line of scrimmage. I think he said Nolan Williams on the tackle. That's number 5 for the Maniacs. 9.5. So 4th and almost 10. It was about 6-yard or about a 4-yard loss. Lumberjacks show punt. They're sending Grayson Sands out to kick this ball away. Maniacs back deep is Nolan
overhead.
Williams. It's a bad snap over the head of Sands, and he's going to get it away, but it's not going to be a very good kick.
No.
He had to backtrack way back for that.
They finally get the punt away, and if no return, we'll see where they're going to spot it.
That was just good for Sands to be able to get back to it, pick it up, and attempt to be able to kick it at least.
Well, I don't think he wanted to be tackled either.
No.
He's, I'm the punter here. Hey, this is not what I signed up for.
They're marking that at the 31-yard line, so it's a negative of 14 yards for Lumberjack punt.
Lumberjack 31.
Lumberjacks still lead 20-0. Maniacs have it in good starting position, though, after the punt from St. Mary's. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. And it's Cannon this time taking the snap. He's got pressure, and he escapes a couple of guys, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's still
going to get sacked.
It's going to be a sack. I know Tristan Hill was one of the guys in there on that.
Tristan Hill, main defender on that play.
Lose about 3 yards.
2nd and 13.
That's he's the sack leader on the season for the Lumberjacks so far. He had 3.5 sacks coming into this game. That makes 4. Most of those sacks, if I remember right, came against Grangeville. 2nd, about 13 now for Orofino. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Hannah, shotgun, takes the snap. Dropping back, screen play. Again, the Lumberjacks blow it up in the backfield, and that's Gibson on the tackle. It's about a 1-yard loss.
Gibson on the tackle for St. Mary's. Pettengill takes the reception.
So they say number 86 is Pettengill.
And Orofino's called a timeout.
Pettengill is 25 on my roster, but we'll go with that.
3rd down and about 14.
It'll be 3rd and about 14. That's the second screenplay that Gibson has blown up in the backfield.
I mean, yeah, it's happened twice now. And St. Mary's defense is just reading that well.
So 54 seconds to go, and the Maniacs took that timeout. They want to take every opportunity they can to try to score here. So they've got 1 timeout left. St. Mary's still has all 3 of theirs. Now, the Maniacs offensively haven't been able to get too much going for them, but the defense has been not too bad. They've made some good plays.
I would agree with that.
So now we've got Darian Cannon back in there at quarterback. 2 receivers top, 2 to the bottom. Handoff. Or no, he keeps it. Cannon tries to find the edge. He got outside and sheds a couple tacklers, and he's going to be close to a first down. Vanderrob and Gibson, I think it was, on the tackle. Or is that Renner? Vanderrob and Renner.
Nope, giving them the first down, it looks like, too.
That ball is down to the right about exactly at the 20.
That was good for a first down for Orfino. First and 10 on the Lumberjack 20.
So the Maniacs get, I think that's their second first down of the night. 2 receivers to each side. Going to be a keeper again by Cannon. This time he's met at the line of scrimmage. And Roan Ford and Gibson in there on the tackle.
That'll be Orfino's last time out.
Might have gained a yard.
On the carry, timeout, Orfino. Gibson and Ford on that last tackle.
And the final timeout for the Maniacs, with 38 seconds on the clock. So second and about 9. If they gave him a yard, it might not have even given him a yard on that. It might have been just back to the line of scrimmage. Deepest into St. Mary's territory that Orfino's been in this one. Of course, they were helped out with that over-the-head snap or that punt that didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. So all these people came out and put up all their pop-up tents, but I don't think it's rained a stitch since the game has started.
They're feeling comfortable.
Oh, it's definitely better safe than sorry, I'll tell you that. I've done a few games from the stands where it was maybe supposed to rain and it didn't, but we still put up a canopy because we weren't wanting to get wet, that's for sure.
Oh, you got electronic equipment, too, to be thinking about.
Back to the game, we've got 2 wide receivers set. Going to get the throw out to the flat on the far side, or wide. He squeezed free and gets into the end zone. The number 12 of Corey Godwin scores on the throw from, was it Hannah that was back in there, a quarterback? I think it was.
It was.
So the Maniacs did a good job there of managing that time and were able to sneak one past the Lumberjacks.
I think our defense took them a little lightly this time on the drive.
Possibly. 20-6, Lumberjacks lead. Maniacs going to go for it. Cannon is in there at quarterback. Drew Hanna is split out wide. And he's going to keep it up the middle and powering his feet, trying to keep pushing the pile.
Nope.
And they're going to blow it dead and say, no, he didn't get in.
The extra point is no good. 31 seconds.
So 31 seconds to go before halftime. St. Mary's leads it 20-6. And Lumberjacks will get the ball back here in a second. We'll see what they decide to do with 31 seconds on the clock. We'll take a quick break.
Decades, and you really don't notice them until you actually see them. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and Lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
And we are back as Lumberjacks lead this 20-6. 31 seconds until halftime. And Lumberjacks will be getting the ball right now on the kickoff from Alex Powers. I kind of expect St. Mary's to take a knee and just go into half. But you never know.
Hey, after that touchdown, maybe they'll see what they want to do.
Gibson and Badgett waiting at about the 15-yard line. Powers to kick off for the Maniacs. Nice deep kick, end over end. It'll be filled just inside about the 21 by Gibson. Gibson reverses field, takes it to the far side, and he's going to be brought down at about the 30. So a whole lot of running for not a lot of yardage there.
So we got about 24 seconds left, Cameron. We'll see what happens. Orfino can't stop the clock, so.
A 10-yard return for Gibson.
Orfino will get the ball at the beginning of the second half, too.
They do, don't they? Yes, that's right. We scored so fast on that opening possession that I forgot that we had the ball first. So 24 seconds left before halftime. An awful long huddle job there for just a kneel, so I think St. Mary's is going to try to get the ball down the field a little ways. They've got all 3 timeouts. Maybe they
chance to test their passing game a little bit, too.
Try to get down there in field goal range, maybe.
I would be, see, they're spread out a little bit on this. One receiver.
One receiver here to the near side. Looks like that's Wicks. Is it Badgett? Yep, it is Badgett. Going to look for Badgett down the sideline. Ball is a little bit underthrown. Badgett still tries to go up for it. Nice contested defense there by Darian Cannon.
Pass to Badgett, incomplete.
I think what you do on that one, not taking anything away from Jared, but I think you try to run that play again, but maybe you put somebody like Tyler Renner or Vanderrob or even Hill, even though Hill's basically a tight end, but Badgett has a height disadvantage to that defensive back there.
I don't see a problem with even trying to do a little bit more of a trips formation where you have 2 or 3 wide receivers out on one side and kind of mess them up. They're going into the wedge.
Yeah. They do have passes out of this too, though, so wouldn't surprise me any. Going to be a pitch and a handoff back to Vanderrob, and Vanderrob's going to get maybe a yard or so.
They're going to let that clock run dead, it looks like.
They said no gain, but I thought he gained about a yard. 3 seconds left, and it looks like the Lumberjacks are just going to let the clock wind down, and they'll head into the locker room at the halftime with a lead, 20-6 over the Maniacs here tonight for senior night. We do not have a senior spotlight tonight, so here at halftime we'll just go through the rest of our senior program. Then we'll take a look at stats and stuff for our halftime shows. But we'll take a break first.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjack!
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
It's time to winterize your home, and there's no better place to start than at Everyone's Hardware and Lumber Store, 10th Street Lumber. They have insulation, house wraps, stoves, and heaters. See their huge selection of power tools, paints, and painting supplies. And, of course, they have a full line of lumber supplies. Stop by 10th Street Lumber and see what they can do for you. And remember, 10th Street Lumber will deliver anywhere on 10th Street and Railroad Avenue, 10th Street Lumber.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
And we are at halftime. Lumberjacks lead the Maniacs 20-6 here on senior night. And Lumberjacks, I thought this might be a little bit more of a blowout by now, but the defense from Orofino is playing pretty good. But we'll talk about stats here in just a bit. First, we'll go over a couple of our seniors for tonight's senior night. First senior, he's one of the offensive linemen for the Lumberjacks, Jordan Korn. His guardians are Ronnie and Stacy Korn. He has 10 years of playing football. After high school, he plans to just enter the workforce. His activities in school is pretty much just football. His most memorable moment is in the locker room after the Grangeville game. That's the second one that said it. I wish I would know what went on in that locker room. They must have had a pretty good time after that win against the Bulldogs. He would like to thank his mom and dad, Tyler, Carson, Damian, Dylan, Jared, Tristan, Trey, Stacy, Tacey, Greggy, Teft, Landon, and most of all, Coach West. And that's how you know he's one of the offensive linemen, because Coach West is that offensive line coach. And then you've got the number 99 of Tristan Hill, our next senior. His parents is Roddy and Arian Hill. He has 5 years of playing football. After high school, he plans to attend Volta Lineman School in Rathdrum. His activities in school include football and basketball. His most memorable moment is all of the team dinners. He would like to thank his mom and dad, his coaches, the football team, and, of course, the senior class. That is a couple more of your Lumberjack seniors. We'll take one more quick break here from a couple of our sponsors, and then we'll take a look at some halftime statistics.
St. Mary's Realty is the St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Heidi Kruger, your St. Mary's Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Heidi Kruger is a proud sponsor of the Lumberjacks on KOFE. For all your investment needs, call 208-755-5294 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC. And we are back. It is halftime. Lumberjacks lead the game 20-6 over the visiting Maniacs of Orofino here in the last regular season game of the year. Lumberjacks got the scoring started off right at the beginning. First play of the game, I believe it was, and it was a 6-yard pass not a 6-yard pass. It was a pass from Trace Wicks to Jared Badgett for 40 yards and a touchdown. The extra point, bad snap, and threw off the timing a little bit, was no good by Grayson Sands, and the Lumberjacks led it 6-0. The next score, once again, was by the Lumberjacks, but it was with 1:30 to go in the first quarter, and it was a Damian Vanderrob ran it in from 1 yard out for a touchdown. The extra point by Grayson Sands was good, and then the next score was 5:42 to go in the second quarter. It was a 52-yard run by Damian Vanderrob. The extra point was good, gave the Lumberjacks the 20-0 lead, and with 31 seconds left before halftime, Drew Hanna for the Maniacs hit Corey Godwin for 19 yards and a touchdown. The 2-point conversion was no good, and that gives us our 20-6 score here at halftime. Total offense for the Maniacs, the Lumberjacks have held them to just 56 yards of total offense. The Maniacs have ran 19 plays. They're averaging only 3 yards per play. They have 10 yards passing,
5 of 7 on the completions, 2 yards per pass, and that 1 touchdown. They have 46 yards running the ball and 12 rushing attempts. They're averaging about 4 yards per carry. And penalty yardage, 4 penalties for about 35 yards for the Maniacs. They have 1 turnover. That was that lateral/fumble that the Maniacs had, and the Lumberjacks recovered that. And so far, with that being said, so far the Lumberjacks are doing what I hope to see is they have not turned the ball over yet tonight, and I probably shouldn't say that and jinx them. The Maniacs have punted twice, averaged about 37, 38 yards on their punts. St. Mary's has punted once, and that was a -14. They lost yardage on the punt because it was a high snap over Grayson Sand's head. He was able to track it down and still punt it to get a little bit of yardage back from where the ball would have been had it just been recovered back where it ended up. Sacks, I believe there's 1 sack or 2 sacks for the Lumberjacks on the night. First downs, the Maniacs have 4. I'm supposed to be going over Maniac offense, not St. Mary's. So 4 first downs for the Maniacs. They were 2 for 6 on third downs for 33%, 0 for 1 on fourth downs. Now for the Lumberjacks. They have 175 yards of total offense. They've ran 26 plays. They're averaging about 7 yards per play. 66 yards passing on the night. That's the most passing yards for the Lumberjacks all season long in a single game. So they're not doing too bad in the passing attack. They're 3 of 7 passing, 22 yards per completion, 1 touchdown on the passing game. 109 yards rushing on 19 attempts, averaging about 6 yards per carry. I have the Lumberjacks with just 1 penalty for 5 yards. That might not be correct. Then the sacks, St. Mary's, I think, sacked the quarterback twice. 9 first downs for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks are 50% on third downs, 3 of 6, and they are perfect on fourth downs, 1 for 1. Trace Wicks has 1 completion for 40 yards and a touchdown. Dylan Holder, 2 completions out of 6 tries for 26 yards. On the ground game, a little bit of a shift. It's usually Trey Gibson leading the team in rushing, but it's Damian Vanderrob with 8 carries and 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 10 yards per carry. Dylan Holder has 2 carries for 14 yards, and the Maniacs have done a good job of stopping Trey Gibson from getting going. He has 6 carries for just 10 yards on the evening, so he's only averaging 2 yards per carry. Ethan Kohler has 1 carry for 4 yards, and Logan Darnold has 2 carries for 1 yard. On the receiving end for the Lumberjacks, Jared Badgett has 1 catch for 40 yards. He scored that touchdown on the opening play. Trace Wicks has 1 catch for 17 yards. Trey Gibson has 1 catch for 9 yards. Defensively, unofficially for St. Mary's, Trey Gibson's being held checked in the ground game on offense, but he is leading the team in tackles. He has 4 tackles tonight, 3 solo, and 3 tackles for loss. Damian Vanderrob has 2.5 tackles. 2 of those tackles are for loss. Tristan Hill has 1.5 tackles with 1 sack. Trace Wicks, Wesley Vanderrob, Jared Badgett each have 1 tackle. Dylan Holder, Ethan Kohler, Tyler Renner, and Roan Ford each have half a tackle. Extra points. We've got 2 extra points kicked good by Sands. So he has 2 points on the night for that, and he has that 1 field goal attempt that was missed wide. Punting, don't need to worry about that too much. Don't need to worry about kick returns. Individually for the Maniacs, Drew Hanna passing, which something's not showing up quite right on this program. I have to see if it has an update because I know I've picked Darian Cannon, and maybe he hasn't actually gotten a pass off. So Drew Hanna is 5 for 7 for 10 yards and 1 touchdown passing. Drew Hanna also leads the team for Orofino in rushing yards, 34 yards on 4 carries, 8.5 is the average for him. Darian Cannon, 10 yards on 6 carries for about 2 yards per carry. Tucker Malloy has 1 carry for 5, and Corey Godwin has 1 for -3 on the ground game. In the receiving category, Corey Godwin has 2 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown. Darian Cannon has 1 catch for 1 yard, and Seeger Pettengill, I believe, has 2 catches for -3 yards, and those were both, I think, on those screen passes that Trey Gibson blew up in the backfield. And defense, I don't really keep that great of defensive stats for the opponent, but Darian Cannon I show as having 3 tackles for the Maniacs in this game, so he's doing pretty good defensively. So that's how we are where we're at. Lumberjacks lead it 20-6. The Maniacs will get the ball to start the second half, and we will be back with probably the start of the second half, maybe a little bit more halftime information for you.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
St. Joe Potty Hut in St. Mary's is a proud Lumberjack supporter. St. Joe Potty Hut is a portable restroom rental RV pump service in Benoit County, also serving Shoshone and Kootenai County. So for your next large gathering, wedding, family reunion, birthday party, or maybe you're having a remodel done and you need some extra facilities, call St. Joe Potty Hut at 245-4887. 245-4887. St. Joe Potty Hut says, go Lumberjacks! When your car's not running right, you want an honest mechanic that provides quality work at an affordable price. That can be tough, unless your dad owns a repair shop. But in St. Mary's, times have changed. You have Jim's Auto, and they treat every customer like family. Get everything from regular maintenance to major repairs done at Jim's Auto and Tire Pros. Jim's Auto doesn't just offer oil changes. They're a full-service shop. Jim's Auto can diagnose that check engine light, change your brakes, and fix your alignment. Ask about Jim's Auto's new express lane with same-day or next-day oil and tire services. And don't forget, Jim's Auto is an authorized Tire Pros dealer with nationwide warranty, service protection plan, and free roadside assistance. Jim's Auto and Tire Pros located at 69 Milwaukee Road, St. Mary's. And we are back, and it is still halftime. They put 3 minutes on the clock, and the Lumberjacks will come back out. The Maniacs have not headed back out on the field just yet. St. Mary's leads at 20-6. One more time to remind everybody of the Taco Fiesta night for the Benoit Humane Society that's going to take place tomorrow. It's a dinner and an auction and a raffle. The fundraiser will be to benefit Hope's Haven. That'll be held at the Elks Lodge on Saturday, the 22nd. That'll be at 5 p.m. So if you're not doing nothing Saturday evening, head over to the Elks Lodge and support the Hope's Haven Benoit Humane Society Taco Fiesta night. Oh, let's look at another senior here, I guess, while we've got a little bit of time. As like I said, they've got just over 2 minutes on the clock. And we've got Dylan Holder, the quarterback for the Lumberjacks. His parents are Tom and Rebecca Holder. He has 10 years of playing football. After high school, he plans to attend a trade school or go to work. His activities in school include basketball, football, and baseball. His most memorable moment is when he broke Tommy's ribs in practice. Well, I'm trying to think of who Tommy is, unless he means Tommy Truscott. But I don't know. In any case, he would like to thank his mom and dad, Rhea, Nova, Michael, the Watkins family, his sisters, the Sexton family, the Ebert family, the Wicks family, Trace, Jared, Tyler, Carson, Damian, Grayson, Tristan, Landon, Ethan, and Jordan. And that is Lumberjack senior Dylan Holder. Another, I guess he's a okay kid. Every time I've come out to practice and I've brought a drink, he's always asked if it was for him and then gets mad when I told him it's not. So I don't know.
That's why he left you off that list.
Yeah, I think next week I'm going to have to come out for practice and bring him a Gatorade.
If you think that'll work, good for you.
It won't get me on that list. Maybe it'll get me on the basketball senior night list. So the Maniacs are back out here. Lumberjacks are over huddled up with Coach Rouse, it looks like, their defensive specialist. Coach Rouse, he's been here, man, since before the 2016 season by a couple of years, and he's really helped that defense. I mean, they are.
He and Coach Fuller have done a lot with that, haven't they?
Every year they are a pretty solid defense. So Grayson Sands will set to kick off for the Lumberjacks. The Maniacs will receive the ball first. St. Mary's will be kicking from right to left.
Hey, Tim, I want to give you a little clarification on that onside kick thing that happened there. They did not have to do any indicator on that because it had never touched the ground. We can't touch the ball until it touches the ground first. Huh. I did my crackpot research for you, Tim. Went out and found out what we needed to know.
You start sending you with, oh, that was...
that was not going to work either.
And Grayson Sands goes, oh, man. As St. Mary's tries to get the onside kick, but it barely went about 2 yards.
Well, there's the kicking game for you on both sides.
Go 10 yards, our field will take it over with excellent field position.
Looks like they'll have it at the Lumberjack 42.
Ball's on the Lumberjack 42 for 10.
Didn't we see this at the beginning of the game? Something like this?
Yeah, that was the backwards donkey kick looking attempt
and they
from
said that was
Morfino.
clever. Yep. Now if they run it in for a touchdown or pass here, we really got ourselves a ball game.
To 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, and it's going to be a handoff to the number 32, and he gets a pretty good run. That's Powers, and he powers it up to the 30-yard line before being brought down.
That was very well done. Powers it up. Yeah,
I try.
I'm impressed.
Didn't see who made the tackle. 12-yard pickup for the Maniacs, and their first play starts with a bang. Didn't see or catch a tackler, neither did Felton over on the other side because he didn't give who it was for the tackle either. 2 receivers top of the formation, 1 to the near side. Nope, it's Cannon with the snap. And they hand it off, or he keeps it.
He kept it.
Picks up about 3 or 4.
Their offense is starting to pick up a little bit. Right at the end of the half they did. And it looks like they're doing a pretty decent job right now.
Wesley Vanderrob with the tackle. The thing that I'm surprised at, though, is it seems like every time, I think he has shown maybe he was going to pass it once or twice, but every other time that Cannon has been back there to take a snap, he runs it. So it's kind of surprising that St. Mary's hasn't really just teed off on that. This time the ball's on the ground, though, on a bad snap. All indications show that the Maniacs were able to get back on it.
Ball's on the ground, recovered by our field.
Looked like there's no gain at all on that play.
This is definitely going to be 2 down territory if they need it.
I went from a full bag of jerky to almost being gone.
Well, you've been very nice in sharing with our guest tonight that's back here.
2 receivers to the top of the formation, 2 to the near side. Cannon again in there, quarterback shotgun. He's going to throw it this time. It's up high. It's intercepted by Dylan Holder,
and
this could be a
go.
pick six. Holder down to the 30, the 20. Nobody's going to catch him. The 10, the 5, and it's a touchdown for the Lumberjacks on the turnover. And it's going to be quarterback on quarterback violence there as Dylan Holder picks off the opposing quarterback.
Beautiful. That was easily done.
I
he
think
kind of fluffed that up in the air and making it real easy for Holder to come over and grab it like he did.
Yeah, I believe that. I don't know. That was Cannon. That was the other guy that's been taking the snaps back there. If my stats are right on there, that was about a 72-yard return on the interception, which might not be maybe it wasn't.
And maybe that's
far,
why Cannon just runs the ball more than he throws it.
So the Lumberjacks will attempt the extra point.
Then we'll see another interesting kickoff here again. I think that's what we're seeing for the fun tonight is the kickoffs.
Low snap, but they do get it down and up and through. It's good by Grayson Sands. That gives the Lumberjacks a 27-6 lead after the Maniac turnover. And we will keep it right here as we look up one of our other seniors, the number 32 of Ethan Kohler. He's also a wrestler. Guardians or parents, Luke and Misty Kohler. He has 10 years of football. He is undecided on his plans after high school. His activities in school include football, wrestling, track, and Business Professionals of America. His most memorable moment is when he was walking onto the football field and Coach Carr yelled, "Here comes the dipsticks," and he turned to see who else was there, but it was only him. Gotcha.
Why not?
He would like to thank his mom and dad, his grandparents, Coach Teft, Coach Rouse, Coach West, all the other coaches throughout the years. and his teammates, of course.
And we have his brother Michael going to our school at Two Rivers Christian School.
Oh.
If you want to know any more, no, I can't do a cheap plug like that. That's not fair. But his brother Michael does go to our school, as does his youngest one, who's in their kindergarten right now.
Yeah.
They are his kind of adopted brothers.
So let's see what kind of fun thing we see out of Grayson on this kick.
Well, I'm anxious. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen. I think the referees are probably wondering, are we going to get a real one here?
Grayson Sands lines up the Lumberjacks, approaches, and gets a kick down the middle. Going to be fielded at the 30. Fielded by Nolan, I believe. Slips out of a couple of tacklers.
He's a little spark plug, isn't he?
And brought down by the 16 of Jamin Harold at about the 39.
Williams on the return for
He is kind of elusive, isn't he?
Nice little return. If I had that right, it was about a 20-yard return. Jamin Harold makes the tackle for the Jacks. One of the guys brought up from that JV squad. I think that kid's going to be a pretty good football player down the line for the Lumberjacks. There's quite a few of those players on that JV roster that I think are going to be pretty good. It's going to be a pitch out to Williams. He's a little stutter step, but the ball is loose. And
I think he fell on it, though.
Yeah. Did he try to pitch it back to somebody, or did he actually have it straight?
I think it probably got punched out from under, when I'm holding it.
He had a gain until he fumbled it.
Well, they were all over him in that backfield, too.
Lost about 6 yards. Williams was able to get back on it. Brings up second and looks like 16 or so. Another ball, that ball bobbled out as he tried to hand it off. And
there was no one there to hand it to, so he was able to hold on to that ball and just take the tackle that was coming.
Roan Ford gets that tackle for a loss. Backs him up to the 30.
They are definitely going in the wrong direction right now.
So the Maniacs going backwards on their possession after a pretty good kick return. Third and about 20 now. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. I think it's Cannon still in there, quarterback. He's going to keep it himself. And he squeaks past one Lumberjack defender, but Wesley Vanderhoff there to clean him up at the 30-yard line. No gain. Brings up 4th and 20 for the Maniacs, and I don't think they're going to. Unless they fake punt it or something, they're not going to go for it this deep, regardless of where the game is at the moment. It's not really.
It's still 3 scores. Yeah. That's all it is.
Gets the snap. Nice punt. Takes a bounce.
And a big bounce. Look at that.
Look at that thing all the way down to the 24-yard line. And Badgett decided not to pick it up.
That was a wise move with a defender right on him.
It was a 46-yard punt with no return.
Mm-hmm. That had a good 15-yard bounce going Orfino's way on that.
Well, you see that a lot in high school punting.
Yeah, they do.
You occasionally will see a really good punter that can really boot it through the air. Grayson can get him pretty good sometimes. Damian Vanderhoff, when Grayson wasn't there for the Grangeville game, he had a pretty good leg on him punting. But the Lumberjacks on offense now. Everybody in tight, Holder under center. And I don't know where the ball is at on that one.
Didn't go very far from what it looks like.
It was a fumble. Was it? Yeah, it was a turnover on St. Mary's.
Well, there's your fumble for the night.
I'm not sure if that was a bad snap or what, but it definitely didn't work out in favor of the Lumberjacks. I don't know who the ball carrier was. I'm just going to put it as the quarterback. It might have been a bad snap. Orfino recovered that, and they have the ball in good starting position now. says the ball is on the Lumberjack 25 and a bad snap, and Cannon is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And that was Wesley Vanderrob again with the tackle. So Wesley Vanderrob making his presence felt in this early part of the second half. 2nd and 12 for the Maniacs. So there's that. I was hoping St. Mary's wouldn't get that turnover tonight, but there's the one. 4 wide receivers. Going to take it, going to look to throw, going deep. And coming over to knock that ball is Badgett. It was intended for Nolan Williams. Almost looked like it could have been a pick, but Darnold was in pretty good position maybe to get the pick there, but Badgett comes over and tips it away. Brings up 3rd and 12 for the Maniacs, still sitting at the Lumberjack 26-yard line? 27. 1 receiver to the near side for the Maniacs, 2 receivers to the top of the formation. Still at quarterback is Cannon. I haven't seen Hannah back there in a little bit. Going to get the snap, going to be a odd throw, and no whistle. Was that a lateral again?
Lateral, and I think we have recovered.
Nope, it was John Defoe was able to get onto it for the Maniacs and call it a fumble.
Well, it was.
Lost about 6-7 yards on that.
So we're going to 4th down. Ball on the 33-yard line of St. Mary's, it looks like. And of course, they're going to have to try to go for this.
4th and 18. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Cannon takes the shotgun snap. He's going to look to throw. Now he finds a guy open, finds Williams. Williams bobbles it for a second. Brought down by Logan Darnold. It's going to be a turnover on downs as they tackle him at the 20.
That's complete to Williams. Darnold on the tackle for St. Mary's. And the Lumberjacks take over on downs.
The Lumberjacks will take over on downs after the completed pass. That was only 10 yards of plus yardage for the Maniacs. 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Lumberjacks lead 27-6. Everybody in tight. 3rd quarter. There'll be a handoff near side. That's Vanderrob, and he's going to get nice open field tackle by the number 12 of Godwin, as I think it was no gain at least.
Looks like he got a yard actually.
Gained a yard, huh?
Well, looking at that yard marker, looks like he got a yard out of that, but who knows?
That works for me. 2nd and 9 for the Lumberjacks. Again, everybody in tight. Holder under center. Taking the snap. Going to pitch it out to Gibson. Gibson finds a crease. And he's going to make a guy miss. Up to the 40 and finally brought down by Cannon. The biggest run by Gibson of the evening. Because he's been kind of held in check, kind of quiet tonight.
Well, Orfino's defense, like I said, has not been that bad tonight. They're keeping those holes pretty filled up.
That brings the ball up to the 43 of St. Mary's, 1st and 10. Of St. Mary's. Everybody in tight, still for the Lumberjacks. Holder under center. Maniacs defense moving around, trying to get a good position. Going to be a handoff near side. Vanderrob, he's going to pick up a couple of yards before being met by a host of Maniacs. One of those Maniacs with number 78 of James McIver. He's a freshman, and he is a big boy. I was expecting to see him being a senior or a junior on there, but he is a freshman.
Yeah, he's tall and he's broad.
Man.
He's got some big shoulders on him.
Number 58's a pretty good sized boy down there too. That's
Yes,
James.
he is.
That's James Paulson. I know his mom. They actually, mom and dad owned Son Cycle for a little while here in St. Mary's.
Well, how about that?
Everybody in tight for the Lumberjacks. Again, wedge formation, 2nd and about 7, it looks like. Holder calling signals. Takes the snap, Hands it off near side. That is Vanderrob breaking off another big run for the Lumberjacks. The 10, the 5 touchdown. And it has been a heck of a night for Damian Vanderrob, as now that should put him well over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. That was a 55-yard run, and he had a 52-yard run earlier for a score. So Vanderrob having a great senior night here for the Lumberjacks. 33-6 currently, Lumberjacks lead. I didn't buy no tickets, so I didn't win. Oh, that one's blocked. As, again, that's that number 7. That's that freshman getting his hand there on that ball.
Well, as tall as he already is.
That was a good block there by the number 7-8 of McIver. And that'll bring us to our next senior. And sorry, Grayson, but it's right after a missed or a blocked extra point there. But Grayson Sands is our next senior. Dual sport athlete this fall season, as he was the keeper for the soccer team for St. Mary's, and he is a heck of a keeper. Been fun watching him these last 4 years. It's going to be tough to fill his shoes in the goal next year for that soccer team. It says here that his parents are Chris and Shiloh Sands. He has 3 weeks of playing football.
Great experience.
And he played a little bit, I think, his freshman or sophomore year, but they're already getting things lined up pretty quickly, so I'm not going to be able to get through his whole spiel before he kicks the ball off. He does plan to attend college and play, hopefully, basketball, study education to become a teacher later on. In school, he's played soccer, football, basketball, golf, Business Professionals of America, and ASB.
Say that. Really, you can.
Deep kick, going to be fielded at about the 12 by, I think it's number 8.
He got up to about the 28, looks like.
Tackled by the number 7 for the Lumberjack. That's Brock Anderson on the tackle.
Anderson's the return.
I don't have a number 8 on this roster, I don't believe. And where did you say you brought it up to?
Up to 28. 38, it says. That's not right. That's a 28.
That's the 28. Tackler was Brock Anderson, the Maniacs, up to the line of scrimmage. 4 wide receivers set. Taking the snap is Hannah. Hands it off to Powers. Powers brought down in the backfield. And that's Ethan Kohler getting into the backfield.
You know, just as I said, their offense looked like it was doing a little better. They've been moving the ball backwards again.
Loss of 3 is going to be second and 13.
Ethan Kohler getting the tackle for loss. Second, about 13, maybe even 14 for the Maniacs. 3:11 to go in the third. 1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation. Under center is the quarterback. I'm assuming it's Hannah. And it's going to be a lot of confusion on that play, I think.
Well, St. Mary's blew that ball up. Blew up their play.
Rowan Ford getting in there, as well as Gibson. And yeah, I don't know if that was a busted play or if it was just St. Mary's being all over it.
30-15 on field.
So they lose a couple more yards on that. Brings up 3rd and 15 for the Maniacs. 2 receivers out to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Drew Hanna in the shotgun. Running back flanking him to the near side, takes the snap. Hands it off to Powers. Powers drops the ball, has to scoop it back up, and that really messed him up. I didn't think he was going very far anyways with that, and it's going to be
another yard of loss.
Kohler and
Gibson.
Wicks. It was the last one up off the pile. You say another loss of yards, too? I know. So I'm going to go with Wicks and Kohler. Gibson might have been in there somewhere, too, but I can't give more than 2 on the assist. So.
He doesn't need any more accolades.
4th and 16, the snap.
High punt.
Yeah.
It's still a decent punt.
gets it away. It's going to be fielded and dropped by Badgett, and falling on it for the Lumberjack is the number 7 of Brock Anderson. And that's at the 46. That was another nice
45.
punt. That's another nice punt there. I'm gonna call it a fumble. Oh no, cancel. Previous that one. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted.
Stop playing with your computer, Tim. Let's go.
No fumble.
Jackson, their regular tight formation here.
Now there's a fumble. Lumberjacks in the wedge. Everybody in tight. Holder under center. And it's going to be a run, of course. Off the far side there. Gibson with the carry. A 3-yard, close to a 4-yard pickup for Gibson. Brings up second and a long 7. Oh, there goes somebody's balloon. Bye-bye, balloon. Lumberjacks break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Third quarter coming to an end, under a minute to go. Holder under center. Holder takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw, evades some pressure, and finds an open Vanderhoff on the sideline. And it's going to be just enough for the first down at the Maniac 43-yard line.
And that's another Lumberjack.
Vanderhoff having a pretty good night tonight.
Offensively, definitely. That is true.
First and 10 for the Lumberjacks up to the Maniac 43-yard line. And yeah, Holder had to escape a little bit of pressure there.
Even his own man bumped into him before he was about to throw that ball. A lot of poise back there.
Everybody in tight still, wedge formation, Holder under center, checking out the off defense, going to pitch it out to Gibson and hands off back to the near side. That time Vanderhoff gets tackled in the backfield. Cannon with the tackle.
Lost a 2 on that one.
Well, one of the first negative, or only like second negative plays there for Vanderhoff. So second and 12 for the Lumberjacks now. Probably let the clock run out, I would imagine. They're breaking the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage. We'll see if they go ahead and get a playoff. There's 9 seconds left. Holder under center. They look like they're trying to get it off. They're going to do so. Snap, hand it off to Gibson. Gibson takes it to the far side, finds some room to run. He shakes off a couple of tacklers, finally brought down by, I believe that's Cannon. No, that's Hanna. And he's at about the 25-yard line. And a first down for Lumberjacks.
That's also the end of the third quarter of play. The score is the Lumberjacks 33, the Maniacs 6.
I believe that is. Oh, wait and see where they mark the ball when they return.
On the 25-yard line.
Is it on the 25? That's what I thought it was. About a 20-yard pickup for Gibson.
First and 10 Lumberjacks.
And they will switch sides here as the third quarter comes to an end. And we've got to finish up with, I think, Grayson Sand senior stuff here. His most memorable moment is when he threw a pass to Dylan Holder. And he would like to thank his mom and dad, Coy, Ari, his coaches, his teammates, Berkeley and Dylan, for being the best holder. He's got jokes.
Oh, that's worse than ours.
Yeah.
He's going to be a great dad one day, don't you think?
I bet. One of our next seniors, Carson Thorhog, his guardians, it says Wayneston and Carissa Thorhog. He has 9 years of playing football. He plans to go to work after graduation. His activities in school is football. His most memorable moment, once again, another one saying it was the locker room after beating Grangeville this year. Mm-hmm. He'd like to thank his mom and dad, Bristol, Jam Della, Jam Kathy, Papa Ed, Jared, Trace, Tyler, Damian, Landon, Tristan, Dylan, Jordan, Greggy, Trey, Grayson, Ethan, and the rest of the football team, all of his friends, Teft, and most of all, Wes. You know the offensive linemen because they are all giving extra thank yous to Coach Wes Rice.
There you go. Just the whole St. Mary's High School you don't give thanks to, I guess.
Lumberjacks back in the wedge, switching the side. Lumberjacks now going from left to right. Wicks to pass after the little throwback to him, and it's going to be caught down to the 2, it looks like, by Jared Badgett.
Wicks to Badgett.
That was a great contested catch. As the coverage was all over him.
First and goal Lumberjacks on a 3 and a great pass by Wicks.
That's the second nice pass by Trace Wicks. If I recall right, and I may not be right, but I thought in the JV days, early on, like freshman year, I thought Wicks played a little bit of quarterback, but I don't remember 100%.
I don't have any idea. Sorry about that.
So everybody in tight now. Lumberjacks first and goal from the 3. Holder under center. Takes the snap. Little pitch back quick to Gibson. And Gibson's not going to get there. He might have gained a yard.
Gibson's just short of the goal line. Second and goal now for the Jacks.
The 1-yard pickup, 2-yard pickup?
Looks like about a 1-yard pickup, Tim.
Yeah, that was an interesting sequence there. I don't know if the pressure from Orfino got back a little bit faster than they thought because it kind of messed up some of the timing, it looked like, or something happened there when they tried to turn around and pitch that. Same formation. Looks like the same play. Gibson takes it again and dives into the end zone, and they get it that time. So the first touchdown for Gibson today, I believe it is, 2 yards out. And the Lumberjacks extend the lead 39-6 with 10:41 to go in the contest here tonight. And we'll wait to see how this next extra point goes for the Lumberjacks.
Grayson Sands will attempt the extra point.
Grayson Sands, the kicker. Holder, the holder.
Oh, please.
Oh, bad snap. It's on the ground. Grayson's going to try to pick it up, and he didn't want to get hit, but he did.
Extra point is no good.
The one thing Grayson didn't want to have happen. I'm going to call that a run, I guess.
A muff snap. Why there's such a thing?
Yeah, I don't know if there is in those stats for the extra point stuff. In any case, it is no good, and the score remains 39-6 in favor of the Lumberjacks with 10:41 to go.
Another kickoff here in a moment, too.
Yeah, I know. Let's see if they do anything fun with that one. So we finished up with Carson Thorhog. Next senior is Landon Warren. His guardians, Larry and Anawick Warren. He has 10 years of playing football. He plans to join the Navy after high school. Thank you for your service when you get in there, Landon. Activities in school include football, wrestling, and golf. His most memorable moment, once again, the locker room after beating Grangeville. And we'll get to his, we might be able to get his thank yous taken care of. He'd like to thank his mom, his dad, his Uncle Wade, Aunt Kendra, Coach Tept, Coach West, Coach Rouse, Dylan, Jared, Tristan, Damian, Carson, Jordan, Ethan, Tyler, Trace, Grayson, Riley, Jackson, Trey, Becky, his fellow teammates, past and present, and anyone else that he may have forgotten. That includes me and you.
Again, as always, we just seem to be getting left off.
So Sands will kick off.
Here we go. The adventures in football kicking resumes now. And with the score the way it is, it's kicking deep.
Yeah. Nice kick deep into the end zone, and we get a touchback on that one.
Kick goes through the end zone. It'll be first.
So the Maniacs will start first and 10 on their own 20-yard line. 39-6, Lumberjacks lead it here early fourth quarter.
Does he get any of his own?
Not quite to the running clock yet either. So.
Oh no, we're getting close. We're 33. We would miss all these extra points. So we might be there by now.
Looks like a few younger guys in here for the Lumberjacks. JJ Year, but that's a different number than he was wearing last time, I think.
Well, you know how that goes.
Going to be a throw by Hannah. Going to be incomplete, intended for the 88. That's another one I don't have on the roster.
Hannah's pass, drop. Second and 10.
I mean, I have him in the roster, but they don't have a name with him.
Smith.
John Doe. So I am going to try to pay attention to see if I can catch the number on the side of the helmet of this young man that's here in the backfield at the safety spot for St. Mary's, because he has a green helmet. And I know J.J. Yearout Last week he was number 18, so they changed.
Because he didn't have his uniform last week. He had to borrow one.
They changed his varsity number on us from one game now. Okay, so he's number 33 tonight. And we get a procedural. Is that on the start on the Maniac?
Back 5 more yards.
Well, you know, they can't go changing jersey numbers up on me from one game to the next after I know who it is.
You know, Tim, they don't take us into consideration when they do this stuff. It's hard doing this. And I'm part-time.
15 for the 15.
I'm going to have to make Tef send me an updated roster with all the right names and numbers. So 2nd and 15 for the Maniacs now. They have a couple of wide receivers out there. This is a run play handed off from Hannah to Williams. Williams finding some room, hurdles a lumberjack. He's still up. I told you he was shifty.
Yeah, he's
finally brought down by Aiden Year out after a nice run by Nolan Williams.
Williams on the carry for Pino.
I watched him on film and I thought, man, that kid can move.
First down.
Aiden really grabbed him up, though, and put him down after.
Up to the 34.
We're sitting about 10 minutes left in the quarter, Tim.
From the Pino 34.
See a few different jersey numbers out there tonight. Now, Jaden Yearout's out there. Brebner's out there. Said JJ Year out. Still got some of the other guys with Trey Gibson out there. Hand off to Powers. Powers shakes off a couple of tacklers. Gibson gets a hold of him, though, and Gibson's not going to let go.
What year did you go to?
All of them.
As many Gibsons as we've seen.
I went through about all of them, I think, too.
4 is going to be 2nd and 6.
I didn't see any of the other guys that helped on that tackle, so I'm just going to give it to Gibson. There was about 3 or 4 of the guys that came in to help. Picks up 4 yards for the Maniacs. Brings up 2nd and about 6. 2 receivers to the near side for Orofino. It looks like 1 to the top, 2 to the top of the formation. Hannah still at quarterback. Takes the snap. Nope, that isn't Hannah. That's Cannon. He's going to fumble that ball on the snap. And
ball's on the ground.
See, who flew in there to make that tackle? I think it was
Harold broke the play up.
Jamin Harold.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was going to be a pass or not.
Well, we didn't know because he never had an opportunity to set up for a play.
I should just call that a bad snap. I don't know. That hit him right in the hands. I'm going to put it down as a fumble.
Whatever you want, Tim.
Yeah. The next snap is a run. That doesn't go very far.
There's no gain even.
Tackle is by 70 for the Lumberjack.
Mantell on the tackle.
Mantell Jackson. Yay! Our baseball guy gets credit tonight.
Didn't see who had the carry for Orofino.
Nah, that doesn't matter. Jackson gets his name called tonight.
4th and 11 now for Orofino.
Loss of a yard on that, or was it more than that?
It was actually pretty much a no gain type of thing. 4th and 11 though.
I think that's the first time we called Jackson's name tonight.
Well, he hasn't been out there much from what I could tell.
Who's Jackson? Anyways, I thought he's not a senior. No, he's
Jackson's
a junior.
Only a junior this year.
They're going to punt.
And nobody's going to touch that ball. Nobody's going to touch that ball.
JJ Yearout thought about it. Watched it roll out of bounds, though.
Ball rolls out of bounds.
At the
36, 7-yard line, yeah.
St. Mary's will take over with 7:36 to go in the game from their own 36-yard line.
1st and 10 Lumberjacks on the Orofino at 37.
And I don't think we have time to get our
they're already set up.
Any more seniors rolling on that one? I've still got 2 seniors left.
Well, you're going to make it.
There's quite a few seniors this year on this football team. Going to be a lot on the varsity basketball team, too.
You might have to do 2 senior nights for that. Okay.
Everybody in tight. Is it still Holder in at quarterback, or has that been changed up? It's going to be that scrum up the middle. Pick up about 4 yards. And that was Cody Teff. So the switched out our quarterback for Cody now. Cody Teff will probably be taking the wheels next year. The varsity quarterback job. Picks up about 4 yards on that carry. 2nd and 6 for the Lumberjacks. Teft is a 5'10", 140-pound sophomore. Again, everybody in tight for the Lumberjacks. Teft under center. Takes the snap, hands off, coming to the near side, and that's Harold. Harold trying to find some room. Thought he was going to be able to squeak away from that tackler, but isn't able to.
Still got about 2 or 3 yards out of it, though.
Harold on the carry for the Giants.
I believe that was Pettinger. They said that was
3rd and 4 for St. Mary's.
I think that was. They say the Pettingill. I've heard them call him as number 86 tonight. That was a tackle by him. 3rd down and about 4 yards for the Lumberjacks. Up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Also see Tyson Watts is one of the senior, or not. No, he's a junior also. He's in there. That's a false start.
Every Hanky came out on that one.
I think just about every Lumberjack moved on that one.
Well, still on the Lumberjacks. Lumberjack 5.
Everybody was anxious on that snap.
Must have been a good play they were ready to execute. Sorry.
They've been looking to run that one, and they got the chance. And also in there for the Lumberjacks, too, is his first varsity action tonight is Kyle Smith. That kid looks like he should be a senior.
Is that right?
Freshman this year. That's going to be a handoff to Darnold. He was bobbling the ball, able to pull it in before he got hit.
So we got 4th down, and maybe we'll get a decent punt execution this time. Those have been exciting too.
Yeah.
Loss of 3 is going to be 4th and 10 for the Jacks.
See if they still got Grayson Sands coming out to punt. They got anybody else to punt? Nope, it's Grayson. Oh, let's really throw the Maniacs off. Let Grayson have a fake punt and pass it here. 5:15 to go. Sands to punt. He's at about the 20, just about 21-yard line. Williams waits at the 30, 31. Gets a nice one away.
That's a good one.
Far side of the field. Going to take a nice Lumberjack bounce. And where's he going to mark that at?
The Lumberjack roll.
Looks like they're going to mark this at 35. So a 30-yard punt with no return. And that's where Orfino will take over. 4:57 to go in the game. St. Mary's leads it 39-6.
First and 10 Maniacs.
Maniacs only score coming at the end of the first half. So they got that little touchdown pass. They haven't been able to do too much after that. Maniacs break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. They will go. Cannon back in there at quarterback for the Maniacs. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Takes the snap, keeps it for the run. Lumberjacks read it pretty well this time, though. Jamin Harold, I believe, on the tackle.
Maybe a yard gain. Yep, 1 yard.
Made on the play, 2nd and 9.
So 2nd and 9 for the Maniacs now, up to their own 36-yard line. Switching out some personnel there. Jackson Nantel goes off. Coming in is Kyson Watt. Cornerbacks out there is number 13 is Logan Darnold, number 12 Aiden Year out on the far side. Got 2 receivers at the top of the formation. One to the near side. Handoff from Hannah to Powers, and Powers slips down in the backfield.
Oh, I think he got cut down from underneath. That was
Powers carries the ball for Orfino, slips and falls.
Give credit though. The
loss of 2 is going to be 58. 12.
58. Well, that is. I think that's Russell Brousseau.
Well, we have our guys back here spotted for us on this.
He was one of the ones that was added to the roster. I didn't know until this evening what his number was. This one's a pass over the middle, a little bit wide of Powers. Incomplete pass.
4th and 11 for Orfino.
On coverage, I think that time was the number 12 for St. Mary's was Aiden Year out. And the punt team is on for the Maniacs. Or no, are they? Yeah.
Where's
yeah,
the
okay.
punter's back there?
That is the same guy. But
And
he's
it's
going
a
to fake it. And
there
there's
is
nobody
no
out
one.
there.
So that will be
Incomplete on the fake punt.
change on downs.
1st and 10 Lumberjacks.
So the Powers, I think, had a little bit of pressure coming in on them, and there was just nobody there to throw that to. I'm surprised there wasn't an intentional grounding.
Well, high school, 39-6.
Yeah.
You make the call.
Well, exactly, but still.
And we only have a 4-man officiating crew tonight. One of their men had to work another game up in the Coeur d'Alene area that required 6.
That's a handoff pitch into the backfield and a little bit of traffic in the backfield, but Harold able to get through that and powers forward up to about the 20-yard line. And it's going to be a first down.
That's another Lumberjack.
Nice run by Harold. It's a 12-yard gain, or actually a 14-yard gain. Yeah, he ran into some of his own players on the backfield after he took that snap or took that handoff, and I thought that was going to get blown up in the backfield, but he was able to find the edge and get some blockers. Teft under center. Everybody in tight for the Lumberjacks. Teft looking over the defense, bobbles the snap. He's going to just keep it himself, and looks like he's going to actually get some positive yardage out of it. That could have been
Good 3 or 4 yards on that, maybe.
Could have been disastrous on that one.
Teft on the carry for St. Mary's.
As they bobbled that on the snap.
Gain of about 3, it's going to be 2nd and 7.
Able to make something out of nothing. 2nd and 7 for the Lumberjacks. Up to the 17 of Orofino. 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Still in tight. Teft under center, keeps the ball himself, pushing the pile, trying to squeak out of there, and they blow the play dead. Man, that was because he ended up popping out, but they thought the forward progress was stopped, so they didn't quite let that one keep going as long as they do sometimes.
Coming your way tomorrow for you Orofino fans and St. Mary's fans, the middle school will be playing at Orofino tomorrow at noon. And right here on Lumberjack Field is going to be
There's going to be some middle
junior tackle,
little kid championship football here tomorrow. Ought to be a fun cold day for them little guys.
Are you coming for the play-by-play, Tim?
I'm sure not.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Somebody called the timeout here, probably St. Mary's.
Why?
I don't know, but they did.
Called the timeout.
Orofino called the timeout. So, minute 40 to go. Maniacs call a timeout. 39-6. Lumberjacks are leading it, and let's go ahead and take a look at Landon. No, we already did Landon, did we not?
You have what left? One, don't you?
Yeah, I did Landon, so I only got Trace Wicks left. And Trace, his parents, is Craig and Tana Wicks. He has 10 years of football. He plans to go right into work after high school. Of course, he's kind of I don't know if that's where he's going to work, but he has a built-in job.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Activities in school include football, basketball, and baseball. His most memorable moment is beating Orofino on senior night.
Why not?
Okay, I'm going to leave it to that for right now. Now go over the thank you. So he's doing a little fortune telling in his, was he? Everybody in sight.
Boy, would he be eating a lot of crow.
Handing it off. It's the handoff is to Jarrett Brebner, and he's going to pick up a yard or so. That's bold on numerous reasons, just because of the fact that Orofino's out here when they're announcing the senior night stuff, and they get wind of it too.
Boy, isn't that what you call a locker room paper pinup?
Exactly.
Oh, well.
1:09 to go. 4th and 3 for the Lumberjacks. Ball on their 15 of Orofino. Maniacs or Lumberjacks looking, of course, to go for it here. Got the younger guys in. Why not let them? Cody Teft under center. Everybody in tight. Under a minute to go. The snap. Teft was, I don't know what exactly that, I don't think that was meant for Teft to keep it, but I don't know if it might have been supposed to be a pass play or something else, but that ended not well.
One for loss, and the Maniacs will take over on downs.
I'm going to call it a run because I don't know what it was supposed to be. Loss of about 4 yards, 5 yards, and that Maniacs will take over with 42 seconds left on the clock. Maniacs still have 2 timeouts. Let's see if they use them as they try to just put a little exclamation point on the end of their season here.
You never know. Got 42 seconds left. Why not give it a try, huh?
Yeah, they scored in 31 seconds at the end of the first half. 2 receivers near side, 2 to the top of the formation.
Defense is not going to let them. Look how many people they got in the backfield.
Cannon there at quarterback. Makes one guy miss. Gets to the edge. He's got some room to run until he didn't, of course, and that was coming off of his blocker, Brock Anderson, to make the tackle at the 35.
He had room to run until he did.
Well, he did.
I like that. That is some good play calling.
Well, it looked like it was going to go for more than that.
I just like that, though, Tim. He ran out of real estate, would have worked well.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if Brock was going to get away from his tackle, and he did, or his blocker. So, good job by Anderson. Again, keeping the ball again is Cannon, pushing the pile.
That might be the last play right there.
Gibson on the tackle.
No, they call timeout. I don't know, Tim.
Gibson and Marsh on the tackle.
I mean, if I'm down 39-6, I want to get off the field. Don't you, Mr. Sexton? He shakes his head. He doesn't know what he wants to do on that. It's been nice having you up here tonight. You want to say anything? That wasn't the way you were in school when I was working with you. You always had something to say.
5.7 seconds is what the Maniacs have left. And it looks like it might be Hannah back in there at quarterback.
Why not? They're going to throw.
Takes a snap.
Did I tell you it's a throw?
Throw to Cannon, and Cannon's going to be swung around and brought down by Marsh and Anderson. And that will be the final for this one. 39-6, Lumberjacks win it.
Remember, a lot of football tomorrow. Middle school would play.
And next week, the Lumberjacks will be
the junior championship
on to postseason play. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with our recap.
They're in the state A2.
It's time to elevate your finances. Introducing Ascend Checking, the simple, free checking account from P1FCU. It gives you the flexibility to earn dividends, plus get anytime account access with online and mobile banking, mobile deposits, and no minimum balance requirements. Level up your finances with Ascend Checking. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938, insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary.
And we are back as the Lumberjacks win 39-6 over the visiting Maniacs on senior night. The Lumberjacks finished the season with a 3-5 overall record and a 3-1 league record. And that was enough done in league play to get the Lumberjacks into the postseason, which starts next week somewhere. We don't know 100% where just yet. Yeah. I mean, it's been speculated that it might be West Side, but we just got to wait and see. We'll probably know, if not Sunday sometime, we'll know definitely Monday for when and where on that one. Well, let's see here. Orofino, according to my unofficial stats, put up 107 yards of total offense tonight, Clark. They ran 45 plays, and they averaged just 2.5 yards per play on the night. They had 29 yards passing, 78 yards rushing. 5 penalties roughly for 40 yards, a couple of turnovers, 1 interception, 1 fumble. 9 first downs. They were 3 of 12 on third downs, 0 for 3 on fourth downs. For the Lumberjacks, they put up 330 yards tonight. They ran 46 plays, averaged over 7 yards per play. 97 yards passing tonight. That's the most passing yards in one game so far this year for the Lumberjacks. 5 of 9 passing, 19 yards per pass play, and they had 1 touchdown through the air. Rushing, 233 yards on the ground, 37 rush attempts, 6 yards per carry. Very good numbers there for the Lumberjacks going forward. I mean, if you can average 6 yards per rush, and even in the passing game, if you're not passing it a lot, but you're still averaging 19 yards per pass, it does good things for you. I had 2 penalties for 10 yards for the Lumberjacks. They turned the ball over once on a fumble. And let's see, punted twice. Had a couple of sacks on the night. 16 first downs. 3 of 9 on third downs for 33%. 1 of 2 on fourth downs for 50%. And we'll just go over the Lumberjack individual stats here. Trace Wicks, 2 for 2 passing tonight, 62 yards and a touchdown pass. And Dylan Holder, 3 of 7 passing for 35 yards for the Lumberjacks. In the ground game, Damian Vanderrob went off tonight running the ball. He had 11 carries for 134 yards, averaged 12 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns on the night for Damian. So a great senior night for him. Trey Gibson had 12 carries for 60 yards. He averaged 5 per carry, had 1 touchdown. Jamin Harold, 2 carries for 17 yards. Dylan Holder, 3 for 14. Cody Teft had 5 yards. Ethan Kohler had 4. Jarrett Brebner had 1. Receptions, Jared Badgett, 2 for 62 yards and a touchdown. Trace Wicks, 1 for 17 yards. Vanderrob had 1 for 9. Trey Gibson had 1 for 9. And defensively, Trey Gibson with 6 tackles, 4 solo, 4 assists, and 3.5 tackles for loss. He had a good night. Wesley Vanderrob, he's up at the top of the tackle charts tonight with 4 tackles, 1 for loss. Jamin Harold didn't play a lot in the first half, but was able to tally 3 tackles late in the game, coming up from the JV roster. 1 of those tackles for loss. Damian Vanderrob and Brock Anderson each with 2.5 tackles. Ethan Kohler and Rowan Ford with 2 tackles. Trace Wicks and Tristan Hill with 1.5 tackles. And then you've got Badgett, Darnold, Aiden Yearout, Jackson Nantel, Russell Brissot, Milo Marsh, each with a tackle.
Yay, Milo.
And Dylan Holder and Tyler Renner with a half a tackle apiece. Grayson Sands, 0 for 1 on field goals. That one was a little bit wide. He had 3 extra points. I think, what was he, 3 for 4? On the extra points, missed 1 of them.
He missed 2. There was two blocks.
Well, one of those was a field goal.
Oh, well, I still think he missed 2 extra points.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't tell me on this. I'll find out later when I look at the other stats.
It's not going to hurt him any.
No. And that's about it. None of the other stats are really that important on that. Well, it's just the kick returns and the punt returns, which didn't amount to much.
That's the honor anyway, yeah.
So, I don't know, Clark. Depending on who we play, I mean, we're obviously big-time underdog going into the playoffs. We're going to be definitely low man on the totem pole, and everybody's going to be looking past us that might play us. So,
yeah.
Never know what happens in the playoffs.
Well, Coach Teft is a good coach. He'll figure some things out. But, yeah, we're just a little bit undermanned this year when it comes to some of the things we need to do to be a state champ. But that's not that far off. With what I'm seeing and hearing about the JV squad, and the next couple of years are going to be pretty exciting, I think. And not to dismiss this season, it's not over. So
exactly, and they could make a little bit of a push. I don't think they're necessarily a championship team this year.
No, but hey, to win a playoff game just really helps the reputation a little bit more.
Exactly,
can make them feel a lot better about what's going to happen in the future.
But I think St. Mary's is a little bit underrated this year just because of some of their outcomes of their games. And I do think teams are going to be, everybody down south, everybody that's going to be playing in the playoffs will be just looking at St. Mary's as, we'll probably just walk on.
It's a Northern high school team. Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens all the time. I mean,
well, just remember 5 years ago, a Northern high school team won state. I think it was us, I believe.
Yeah, and I think we were, even though undefeated all the way through that year, I think
who are they?
They were still doubting the St. Mary's team. So, yeah, I think that's about it for us. Don't forget about the Hope Haven thing tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Their Taco Fiesta over at the Elks, I think it was. 5 o'clock is when that's going to start. It's a nice little fundraiser for them. And like I said, we might not have Vandal football on the air tomorrow because we might go to that game in person, try to get the Boise State game on in the evening. On Sunday, we will have the Seahawks at the Chargers. And that'll wrap up this week in sports. And next week, we'll know more about what Lumberjack football
and go Lady Jackson volleyball. Let's hear good things.
Yeah, that would be the only good thing to going east down far away would be to be able to maybe take in a little bit of volleyball after the football game's over. Go cheer them on.
They may have won it by then. Who knows?
But, that's going to do it for us. I'm actually surprised, Clark. You usually set that headphone down and run out right at the end of the game.
I enjoyed this. This is the last game I get to do this year, so I wanted to stick around and have a little more fun with this.
No, there's still basketball.
That is true.
That should be a fun season, too.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they're capable of this year. Every year.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for us here. We've got Clark here that stepped in and joined us tonight in all the home games. Sandy that got us on the air back at the studio. I'm Tim Parrish for Coffee Radio. We hope that you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjack!